Unpopular opinion. I don't think your life has to have a purpose, or you a grand ambition. I think it's okay to just wander through life, finding interesting things until you die. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Oodles, the most unpopular podcast host this side of the Atlantic. With me today, we have food is better in the microwave. It's Biggie.
Hello.
Vegans are so humble and quiet about their opinions. It's Candy.
Hello.
Game Pass isn't actually very good and it's full of bloatware. It's Gadget.
It's true.
And the Millennium Prayer is a stone cold banger. It's Stig.
Absolute rave machine of a song.
The Millennium Prayer. Fuck.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that in, 22 years.
Stig does. Hello and welcome. So yes, before
My
we
anthem.
continue with the rest of the show, we have things to sell. Stig, take it away.
Yep, if you like what we do, you can head over to patreon.com/modern escapism, and there you will see the extra stuff that you can pay us to get. More stuff. Excellent words coming out of my mouth there.
More stuff.
Anyway, if you want an extended edition of this episode every week, as well as at least one monthly special and any other specials that we put out, currently we are doing a Moon Knight special, and there will be a Too Fast Too Curious dropping randomly when I can get it edited.
From the sky.
Yes. So that's the kind of specials you'll get. £5 a month, Modern Escapees. If you are into Dungeons & Dragons, we do a D&D play podcast called Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep. £5 a month, the Scorched Sheep tier will get you ad-free early access of the episodes, as well as artwork done by Candy, any battle maps put together, any character sheets, and any original music and etc. that we do for the show. You'll also be able to suggest items and NPCs for Gadget to use. And £7.50, it's the Biggie Bundle, and that gets you everything. Subject to VAT.
Yes! There we go.
Noodles was ready to jump in there with words, but...
I keep doing it, and I'm
See
waiting.
what happens when I deviate from like the usual spiel? I just go off, just tripped over myself.
It's hard. Anyway, on with the Nexus, and I'm going to start this week so then I can sit back, relax, and get drunk. I have watched a film this week, guys. A film called Cliff Beasts 6, The Battle for Everest, Memories of the
Did you
Requiem.
watch that?
Also known as The Bubble.
Yeah.
On Netflix. So, listen to this cast list. David Duchovny, Karen Gillan, Keegan-Michael Key, Leslie Mann, Pedro Pascal, Kate McKinnon, Daisy Ridley, John Lithgow, John Cena, James McAvoy, Peter Serafinowicz. That's just... what a cast.
You had me at David
It's a
Duchovny.
real cast list.
Directed by Judd Apatow.
Oh,
This
I'm
is
out.
probably the worst film I've watched in the last 5 years.
I'm in.
Worse than the original June.
It's I'd say so. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's worse than June. This film is basically The Bubble. It's called. It's a pandemic film. So it's about it's like a what do you call it? A spoof mockumentary kind of thing. Not quite mockumentary, but fly on the wall film thing, comedy about 5 or 6, 7 actors in an hotel making a film called Cliff Beasts, and they're in their COVID bubbles. And hilarity ensues, but unfortunately it doesn't, because it's not fucking funny. At all.
Are they playing themselves? Or are they playing?
No, they're all playing annoying as fuck actors. Oh, it's
to themselves.
Yeah, I suppose. Like, I usually give Judd Apatow a pass because some of his films I've enjoyed. This is by far the worst thing he's ever done. By far the worst thing he's ever done.
I don't see how he could have done it so wrong, because when I look back at the pandemic, all I can do is laugh. It was such a hilarious time in life.
Why are they making films on this already? There was another one, wasn't there, with Anne Hathaway in about breaking into Harrods during lockdown. It was called Lockdown, actually.
Yeah.
Just no.
The actual plot is about Nebula, aka Karen Gillan, coming into England. She's for some reason incredible Scottish actor. They've got to do an American accent. Why? But they've got to come in.
That's just standard for most of the Hollywood.
I
films,
know they've got to coming into England to finish off a film called Cliff Beasts 6. The Battle for Everest, Memories of the Requiem, which is supposed to be funny, isn't it? It don't work. So
it's got Requiem in the title, so we know it's going to be shit.
Yeah, so Cliff Beasts in this world universe is their Jurassic Park, one of the biggest franchises ever. It's about dinosaurs and stuff, really high budget and stuff like that. And they've got a new director on to do it, and obviously tensions are high because of the pandemic, and they're all actors and they're all going, "Oh, don't touch me, that kind of thing." And they're all locked away in this manor/hotel where they're filming the film on green screen and stuff like that. And straight off the bat, it's just pandemic joke after pandemic joke, like, "Hi, my name's John," and shaking their hands and going, "No!" and like spraying their hands and throwing them on the ground, like, do you know, what's environmental protection, hazmat suits on, spraying them and locking them down for 2 weeks and stuff like that. As if that's funny. Because it's not. It's not funny. It was horrendous. But yeah, the film itself, guess what? It's 2.5 hours long.
Oh, Judd Apatow, stop it. Remember, This is 40. That was like 2 hours, 10 minutes.
The only redeeming thing...
Knocked Up was 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it was. The only redeeming thing in this is David Duchovny. He's good in it because he knows exactly what he's in this film to be himself.
I was going to say, is he just playing himself?
Yeah, just David Duchovny. Like, is he an alcoholic? Isn't he an alcoholic? Is he off his head on meth? Is he not? We don't know. Does he like shagging? Yes, he likes shagging. It's David Duchovny, everybody. Do you know what I mean? And he's the only good thing in it. It's got Leslie Mann in it. That's Judd Apatow's wife. And she's been in every one of his films, and she's usually pretty good. She's shit in this. It's just, there's no redemption in this film whatsoever. I want you all to avoid it. It's full on 0.5 star out of 5. I think it's absolute trap. I don't know what critics have seen of it. I don't know if they like it. I don't know if it's in the Netflix top 10.
It's got IMDb rating of 4.8.
There you go. There you go.
35 Metascore.
It's fucking turgid shite, and I hated it. And if that's my review, cash it in at the bank. Judd Apatow. I feel
like it's too soon for people to be making comedies about the pandemic or about the
Yeah.
As a world, we've endured a 2-year global trauma.
Yeah,
it's a bit soon.
That's what most of the jokes were, and I was just like,
do you know what though?
Like, even if there are plenty of things that you can find funny that happened within the pandemic. Like, we all. Like, if you go back and watch, everyone standing at their doorstep clapping and stuff like that, like, we all collectively lost our fucking minds in the first couple of months. But it's a bit too soon to be joking about it.
Yeah, the jokes just don't land. Nothing's funny. It makes Hollywood actors seem even worse than they already are. And I know they're terrible people, and a lot of them in general anyway, and it just makes them babies. They're like babies, big babies. And they've got like a PR team and a minder team that are helping them, and they've got people that are like their assistants are like, "Oh, will you come and wipe my ass?" That kind of thing. It's just, I hated it. Don't watch it. Don't watch The Bubble. I mean, I've warned you now. So if you do, and you come shouting at me on Twitter, on your head be it. Also, the other thing, slightly more positive, I've been playing Pokémon Arceus, or Pokémon Legends Arceus. Thanks to Best Boy Kurt Lewin for sending me that over this week. That's a nice breath of fresh air, that game, innit? I don't know if any of you guys have ever played it.
Nope.
No interest.
So, if you've ever played a Pokemon game, they're very cookie cutter, aren't they? Little baby's first JRPG, turn-based battle type thing. They haven't really deviated much on that formula for the past, 20 years? I'd like to say.
Longer than that.
Maybe longer, yeah. This is a proper breath of fresh air. Off the bat, it's not a good-looking game. At all. Almost ugly. I've seen a few people on Twitter saying, what are people moaning about the graphics for? It's nice. It's not nice. It's mediocre at best. It's like Minecraft with smooth filtering. Do you know what I mean? It's just not nice. The Pokemons look good. The environments look terrible. However, the gameplay is so addictive. So the loop is... the story, I don't really know much of the story because I've been skipping it, but what I've got to gist is the character you create falls out of the sky, and you've got to then collect all the Pokemon. Now, luckily, on this, you don't have to battle them. You can just... Basically, do you know when... Back when, before we had the Pokemon, is it Sword and Shield?
Yeah,
people were saying, we're going to get this open world Pokemon game. It's finally happening. And we didn't. It was just a 3D Pokemon game. We've finally got that open world game that they promised, where you're skulking around in grass, you're trapping the Pokemons against their own will, which they are monsters, so...
Forcing them to fight in your favour.
Yeah, you can't feel too bad. The monsters. Clues in the name. And it's all...
Or are the humans the monsters all along?
That's it. Was it Beauty that killed the beast? Who knows? But yeah, it's just a fun little distraction at the moment. It's on Switch, obviously. And anything that's on the Switch is perfect because you can take it away with you anywhere. I believe, Gadget, you're one of the only humans in existence that keep it docked.
Well, yeah, because I've got a big telly that I can play it on.
So do I, but still. In my hand, in bed. Woo, yeah!
I also have like normal man-sized hands and they cramp when I play it in handheld mode. So.
Oh, I don't. Luckily, I have the hands of a small boy.
Yes.
But
that's what it says on your Tinder profile.
It does. But yeah, I just think it's really nice. It's nice to be like... There's a lot of fashion in it. You know, I like to dress my dolls up. Yeah, it's just a good game. It's hard to explain it if you've never played it. It's just... Imagine like one of these Cabela hunting games, you know, when you're in the wilderness hunting, but you're not actually shooting anything. You're just capturing them in a humane way. You can still fight if you want, but pretty pointless doing it. And your Pokemons all level up really fast. And on this game, do you know how these evolved without your choice? On this game, you can choose to evolve them when you want. And yeah, the aim of the game is to fill out the Pokedex. I'm 34 years old, everybody. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm about 7 to 10 hours in. It's just a fun old game. So I recommend it to anyone. If you're in for a little bit of Pokemon Safari, take it with you. I've seen it as low as like 35 quid as well in some places now. So go for it. Next, we will have Gadget.
So it has been a week of continuations of things for me because, you know, Elden Ring still is a thing, and I just have no ability to let that game go or play anything else while that exists. So that's, yeah. I looked up how far through I am in terms of like the mandatory bosses that I need to deal with. 64 hours in, and I have done less than half of the mandatory bosses. Oh, yeah.
I've done one mandatory, one like main boss, and I'm 35 hours in.
Yeah.
I've just been sidetracked with so much other stuff.
Yeah, what I'm assuming is, given where I am on the map, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's all spoilers. I assume that the amount of bosses I've got to deal with, like, is the density increases because you can go for a very long time between main bosses. Anyway, so yeah, that's the weekly Elden Ring report. I think I'll probably still playing this for another 3 weeks or so.
Just finish it, man.
I'm trying.
Easy.
Although, to be fair, I have got myself so overpowered. I've got my anime death laser and I'm melting bosses at the minute, which people on the internet are saying like it's so unsatisfying. I think it's really fucking satisfying because you still got to line them up for the death.
Oh, I absolutely love mowing things down. It's my favourite.
I started a new game on it the other day, and obviously knowing where to go and what to do, I went and got certain spells and just started up in that certain thing. And there was a one-shot in boss. I'm like, yeah, my turn. It feels good. Feels good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I finished Kaiju Preservation Society. Really, really enjoyed it. Proper, easy to read, very funny book. I was reading the acknowledgements and author's kind of little essay thing at the back of it.
Are we in it?
And John Scalzi, he wrote something which I thought kind of really resonated with me, because he was explaining, like, when the pandemic first started, he was in the middle of writing like a really heavy, dark sci-fi novel, and he just couldn't make it work, So he ended up scrapping it about 6 weeks before it was due to be in, and that's when he ended up writing Kaiju Preservation Society. So he had something for his publisher. And he described it. He described the book as this is not This is not an in-depth, beautiful symphony of a book. This is a 3-minute pop song that'll get stuck in your head for the rest of your life. I was like, yeah,
I like that.
I like it. I like that description. I watched Fast and Furious 6.
Great film, isn't it?
Enjoyable.
Moving on.
A romp.
Enjoyable.
Well, after I finished Fast and Furious 6, and you'll hear that on Patreon, I had to correct the world, so I watched one of my favourite films of all time as a rewatch. I've seen this like 10, 15 times. No, not yet. I watched Office Space.
Oh, it's a great film. What a good film.
If you haven't seen Office Space, it's a 1999 American comedy film written by Mike Judge of Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill fame. And it speaks to me because it satirizes office work life for a bunch of kind of software developers. And it apparently was quite the failure at the time. It cost $10 million to make and only made $12 million. It's become a cult hit. So the story follows Peter Gibbons, who's played by Ron Livingston, who was, I think, for a while the 90s pretty boy. We put it on last night, and Pippa immediately says, "Oh, he was in Sex and the City."
Yep.
Okay, wonderful, great. He plays Peter Gibbons. He's a frustrated, unmotivated programmer. Comes into work every day, is utterly miserable. A bit like whenever I used to go into the office, quite frankly. He slacks off, he's sick of his life, he thinks his girlfriend's cheating on him, he lives in a very small apartment with walls so thin he can actually talk to his neighbour through them. And he ends up kind of in possibly a massive funk, and his girlfriend takes him to a hypnotherapist to see if he can sort his life out. And while under the state of hypnosis, where Peter's going to like be chill about everything and not worry about anything at all, the hypnotherapist dies. So that triggers Peter to be, for the rest of the film, a little bit spaced out and a little bit, I don't give a fuck. He stops going into work. When he does turn up, he does things like destroys his cubicle so he can see out the window, sits and plays Tetris on his computer. And all the way through the film, there's this kind of second through line that the company are trying to streamline things. So they have a couple of efficiency consultants come in. One of them played by John C. McGinley, which is surreal to see him squeezed into a suit with a little mustache on him.
I love it.
And it's a really funny film, especially if you have worked in an office, especially one where, like, for an older company, you still have a lot of the 90s practices going on. It is really funny. It's a really funny satire, and it makes me very happy to watch it, even just to the point where there's a running joke where a couple of the side characters are constantly getting annoyed by a printer. If you've ever worked in an office with a dodgy printer, yeah. And you get the wonderful moment where they steal the printer and smash it up with a baseball bat in a field.
Yeah.
Which I've wanted to do to several office printers in my lifetime.
Can I just say, in terms of printers, isn't it crazy how far we've come in the last 25, 30 years with technology, and yet printers, we've just never ever been able to improve them, even now.
I researched why we haven't improved them, funnily enough.
Go on.
Years ago. It's to do with the fact that we still use the same old fucking paper.
Also, printer companies are just horrible people.
Yeah, and they're horrible people.
Like I can't remember. I was reading something that was on the register or something where Epsom are starting to put stuff in where the printer won't work if you don't put in Epsom cartridges, so you can't buy like third-party cartridges.
They've got chips on them, haven't they, to scan?
Yeah. And they'll also stop working if you refill the existing Epsom cartridges. Yep. Like the cartridges now report back when they're empty.
Multi-billion-dollar industry.
Oh, yeah. And so, yeah, printers are awful. But this film is great. So if you haven't seen it for whatever reason, it is a little cult classic. It's very 90s. It's got a banging
Disney
soundtrack.
Plus as well.
I watched it on Amazon Prime, but yeah. But yeah, it's worth watching. And there is one last thing I do want to bring up, and it's just something I was listening to today. This one will be really, really quick. So I've been listening to a podcast called Knowledge Fight, which is a couple of guys who have dedicated a lot of their lives to taking the piss out of Alex Jones's Infowars.
Oh, yes.
Hence, knowledge fight.
Yes.
So I'm not going to get too much into the politics of it, but so at the minute,
Yeah, let's not.
At the minute, Infowars are getting sued from a lot of places about the whole all the stuff of Alex Jones said about Sandy Hook, and then they're also having depositions done with the stuff they reported around the Parkland shooting. And what Infowars had done was they had found that they had put out a load of reporting and basically identified the wrong guy as the shooter. So that guy got death threats and all that kind of thing. He is now suing Infowars. And so they're doing the depositions. And I was listening to this episode today, and the article that had come out, it said something like Parkland shooter is a communist who supports ISIS.
Yes,
kind
I
of
remember
thing.
that.
Yeah. So the lawyer is asking him questions about how he came to this conclusion, where he found out the stuff. And I just want to play a little clip from the episode where they're asking about how did you know he was a communist, right?
Here we go.
So, and honestly, you will, well, I hope you will laugh at this. I'm just going to share my screen there.
So this leads to the actual discussion of the Fontaine photo that Kit included in his article. And in the picture, it's Marcel holding up his fist, and he's wearing a shirt that, if you don't pay attention to it, might look like a communist shirt. Mm-hmm. But it is revealed in this next clip what the shirt actually is.
Grady. What does Antifa stand for?
Anti-fascist, I think.
Okay. What does everybody that's in Antifa support communism?
I don't know.
You didn't put anything about Antifa in your story, did you? Did you put anything?
The photo of Mr. Fontaine, if I remember correctly, looked like a communist shirt.
Flip the page, it's in front of you. It looks like a communist shirt. If you look closely, do you recognize that shirt as a parody on the Communist Party, where certain communist individuals that are famous are having a party? For instance, Lenin has a lampshade on his head. And people did you even realize that?
No, I did not.
You just saw a red shirt
with the hammer and sickle,
and you said, "Gotta be communism."
What a fucking...
That was my assumption at the time, especially considering his fist like that.
Is somebody raising their fist like this? Has that been used for any other movements?
Possibly, but in this photo, that combined when I see a red shirt with a hammer and sickle.
Bam, gotta be communism in your eyes.
Well, that was my assumption that it looks like something like a communist.
So yeah, that is
Wow.
It's astounding. If absolutely fucking so yeah, if you have a random passing interest in the random right-wing shit that comes out, these people are fucking idiots. Listen to Knowledge Fight. Honestly, it's become one of my favorite podcasts because Dan and Jordan, who host it, they're doing God's work because they're watching all the episodes and watching all these depositions are normally horrible, boring things where it's just lawyers asking people questions. And this episode is 3 hours 31, and I've laughed all the way through because of the shit answers that this person's giving. It's absolutely brilliant stuff to listen to. So yeah, if you've got any interest in kind of the American politics or just random right-wing fucking nut jobs, listen to Knowledge Fight. But yeah, that's my week.
Thank you. And the views of Gadget do not reflect the views of Modern Escapism. All political beliefs are something that you can choose to believe in as long as it's left. I'm joking.
Well, as long as you can work out that someone wearing a Communist Party t-shirt
Look,
might not actually be a communist.
You want to be fucking right-wing, guys, be right-wing on a different podcast.
There we go. There it is.
That's politics done with for the year. Stick, what you been doing?
Well, you thought you'd seen the worst film you've seen in the last 5 years. Oh, but sit back.
I'm sat back.
Because I managed to see Moonfall this week.
I'm desperate to hear what you think of this.
My
Roland
God,
Emmerich's Moonfall.
Fucking garbage from start to finish. Absolute dog shit film. Like, I don't care if it's knowingly trying to be stupid, like if it kind of knows, we know we're silly, stupid films. The script, the dialogue, the plot, the premise, everything about it is just absolute crap. The characters are paper thin. The CGI is absolutely awful. There is a car chase scene at one point for no reason whatsoever. It's just filler. It's just because we need to follow some human characters. No. It's because we need to follow some human characters on the Earth while they're doing stuff on the moon.
Right, yeah.
You know, we have to see the impact of what's happening to the Earth, don't we? Yeah. So it's just this car chase scene with all shit blowing up behind them, and it just looks awful. Really, really, really bad CGI. There is a huge exposition dump near the end, which tells you what the moon is and what's happening, and it is frankly
It's a celestial
laughable.
body that orbits Earth.
It's more than that.
Is it though? How big it is?
It's not.
Well, I'm gonna have to watch it now.
So I think Roland Emmerich thought he was trying to be clever and deep with this. He's not. It's just terrible.
Hang on.
There are
So
moments.
was it done in a serious way, the whole
It's
movie?
Roland
'Cause
Emmerich. Yes.
The trailer's given...
Yeah. I think
People say they thought it was going to be a parody or something.
No, he's the king of disaster films,
I-
isn't he?
I think he thinks that he's
It's
onto
poignant.
something with kind of like, well, if you carry on down this way, then
Oh
this
The
can happen.
moon
God.
will collapse.
But who's seen 2012?
Me,
I've seen it.
unfortunately.
Another Roman
I watched it on a
Emmerich.
plane.
Right.
Oh, that's a great film to
that-
watch on a plane.
I know.
But it's still bad, but that's kind of fun bad,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Like, that's
shaft.
one that's
Yeah.
a bit...
I enjoyed it for what
like
it was.
when he drives over the canyon and he comes out and you're like, kind of like, yeah, go on. This makes like 2012 look realistic.
It was same with
stuff
like
that's
Day
happening-
After Tomorrow. That
the stuff
was
that's
bad,
happening in
but I like that
2012
as
is
well,
just-
kind of.
Honestly, there's just... I'm going to spoil this because I don't care. There is a bit where the Earth is cracking up and
it
this
laughing?
car jumps. They're in this car chase and they go, oh no, like obviously it's cracking up. So they jump to go over this new canyon and then they kind of hit this rock that's falling in the middle and then carry on that and jump off that to get over the canyon. So they jump, hit a fallen platform in the middle and jump off that to get
Oh.
over. And I was just like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm
off.
well up for that.
I am.
Honestly,
I am.
it makes Fast and the Furious physics look realistic.
Sounds better than the bubble.
Wow.
Yeah, it's honestly, I was hoping for enjoyable dumb, but it was just dumb.
Yeah, because
like, just pure.
You're a
shit.
bit like me, Stig, aren't you? You know a film's going to be good bad rather than just bad, and then
Yeah,
sometimes
it's
they just bad.
I really just want to talk about what happens
Why-
in this
just-
film. but I
just-
can't 'cause
just
it's a
spoil
massive
it.
Spoiler.
I'll put the spoiler klaxon in
For the people that care.
for the
Right.
Roland Emmerich stands.
So if this was real, just for example, if the moon was falling on Earth and it got to the point where it was touching mountains and city skylines, at that point the world is fucked.
Yeah.
Right. Tidal waves everywhere, volcanoes probably going crazy. The world's fucked. Not this. No, the moon literally skates across the Earth's surface. They save the day, and it goes, and then it floats back into its original position, and everything's
The fuck?
fine.
Oh my god.
And I was just sat going, everyone's dead. Everyone at this point is dead.
Yes.
Like,
An extinction event.
yeah, it's an extinction event. Like, truly, everyone's dead. But no,
There's only
Oh,
one
it's
director
just-
that can do
yeah.
extinction level events correctly, and that's Hideo Kojima.
Mm.
He knows how to
honestly.
do it.
Anyway, a few other things I've seen this week before I get to my main one. I just had to rant about that one. I saw Death on the Nile. That's on Disney Plus now. It's really
I really
boring,
liked
really
it, mate.
plodding. Thought too long to get going. It takes about 70 minutes before there's even a death.
Yeah,
Then it
that's
kinda-
true.
Then it kind of races over the last half an hour to try and get the
Yeah.
killer. The killer was obvious. Me and Kate guessed it straight away. I mean, that's not the film's fault. That's the source material. But he does an origin story for his mustache. Literally a 5 minute black and white
Everyone
cold
should do
open
that.
about how he got his mustache.
I just woke up one day and it was there.
It's an impressive mustache.
Does he?
Where did you get your merkin
Did
from?
you think he just
Let me
had some
tell
money
you.
left in the budget?
Did you like Murder on the Orient Express?
No, I thought that was boring.
That was all right.
I like that as well. I
Yeah.
don't know. I like Christie. I really do.
This is dull as fuck. Really dull. I won't bother.
It's a shame.
And one last one is we rewatched Soul, the Pixar
Nice.
film.
Oh, yeah.
Soul's
sweet.
really good.
That's a
It's
beautiful
really
film.
good. Made me cry.
Really, really good. Yeah, like I'd only watched it once when the
Christmas
day
Day,
came
I
out,
watched it.
and randomly my kids just put it on the other day.
It's
like,
beautiful, isn't it?
And I sat and watched it with them. Yeah, and I just loved it. Great film. Right, onto the actual
The main event
thing this week. So today I went to go see Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
You get that quiet.
So this is the follow-on from 2020's Sonic the Hedgehog, starring Ben Schwartz as Sonic, James Marsden as Tom, Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik, Tika Sumpter as Maddie, and
As
joining the
Knuckles.
cast this time, we have
Idris Elba, isn't it?
the Idris Elba is Knuckles, and
It should have been
I
Chris
have,
Pratt, though. He's doing everything else.
Colleen O'Shaughnessy is Tails. I believe that she is actually the original Tails
Yes.
voice
From
actress.
the cartoon, I think.
Both the
Yeah.
cartoons.
So this one takes place directly after the first Sonic. Sonic finds himself trying to be a hero. He kind of tries to take on a bit of a Batman-style persona, going out into the city and trying to stop crime. But in doing so, he kind of wreaks havoc, doesn't kind of really pay attention to what he's doing. And, the robbers have little bombs that the pipe bombs are throwing out, and Sonic's just like, just throwing them out like that, and it's just causing devastation and things. And while he sees him, I stopped the robbers, he doesn't really see the fact that he nearly
Didn't
killed
we
a
go
lot
over
of
that
people
in
and
the
caused loads of
Avengers?
damage. And
Kind of did, didn't we? Went over the collateral in the Avengers, didn't we? Similar plot thread.
no one's looking at this and thinking that's just like the Avengers. Come on, this is a kids' film, like
The
proper
Avengers
kids'
is.
film at the end of the day. But so with this, obviously, at the end of the last one, the spoiler from the last one, Dr. Robotnik is kind of transported away by Sonic to a planet, and at the start of this, he manages to find his way off the planet, and in doing so, he comes into contact with Knuckles and forms an alliance, because Knuckles thinks that Sonic has possession of the Chaos Emerald. So the whole film is about Knuckles and Dr. Robotnik trying to get to the Chaos Emerald before Sonic and Tails do.
Which is the plot from Sonic 3,
vice
I
versa.
believe.
Uh,
It is.
pretty much, I believe. I think Knuckles was like
He was the baddie in Sonic
bad guy
3,
originally,
wasn't
wasn't he? Yeah. It's fun. It's if you enjoyed the first one, it is just kind of a continuation of that. It's just a really good kids movie. It's probably up there. I know it's not saying much when we say this, but it's definitely up there with the best comic
Video game.
gaming.
I
films.
really like Sonic 1. I think it was good. It surprised
Yeah,
the
it was
fuck out
great.
of me.
If you like Sonic 1, you'll
Oh,
like this one.
perfect.
It is very much a continuation of that. There are a few scenes in there that they are like purposely for kids. Like there's this kind of dance-off battle with these like Siberian
Is
tough
he doing
men,
Fortnite dances?
which is really weird. No, it's not actually. Tails is really fun, has a lot of gadgets and gizmos that he uses. You get a kind of a lot of good things from the game. So, Tails is, driving a plane, that kind of flying a
have chow
plane, that kind of
gardens.
thing.
Isn't the poster reflective of the video game cover or something? Some people said.
Yeah.
Very similar
Yeah.
looking, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of little Easter eggs in that. I quite liked, actually, the opening because it's Paramount. With Paramount, the stars go around the mountain.
It's the rings,
don't
isn't
they?
it?
But it's the rings for this, yeah. And yeah, it's just kind of little touches like that. There's also little other things where you see like crabs in there, because obviously one of the creatures that you kill on the game is a crab. And there's hornets, isn't there, in the game?
Yeah.
So there's like Dr. Robotnik's got like new robots that resemble that kind of thing.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice touch.
those nice little touches in there that do reflect the game. There's a moment where they're almost in a Sonic level.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that was really good. There's one kind of subplot involving Maddie's sister and her wedding and that kind of thing. It just felt like they were filling
Maddie's
time.
new, right?
No, Maddie is
Cyclops'
Tom's wife.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or girlfriend, yeah.
Cyclops.
So yeah, that is a bit of a
So it is.
there's a bit of a
Yeah, nice.
side story going on with that, which kind of it does feel a little bit like filler, but it's fine. It only takes up like 15 minutes of the film. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. There is a moment in this which is genuinely a fuck yeah moment, and spoiler alert, there's a third setup.
Of course, there's a third setup.
Good. If this is as good as the first, bring it on.
I bet they'll be churning them out.
Honestly,
Bring it on.
if you like the first, I don't see how you can not like
Yeah.
this. It's exactly the same. It's the same kind of humor. Sonic's exactly the same, but now you've got Tails, you've got Knuckles, and Knuckles is hilarious because it's obviously Idris Elba's voice in this little red echidna
thing,
like, weird creature, but he's so straight.
Deadpan.
Everything is literal. Yeah. There's a moment where Dr. Robot, that's one of the jokes where they've hacked Sonic's phone. They can see the text messages going between Sonic and Tom, and Sonic's and Knuckles is reading out the messages. And then you know how when you get a message, it says ... like you can see someone's typing. He's just sat there going ... because it's literal to him. He's not like
I like that.
He doesn't get that. That's
like
just little things like that. I won't go spoil any other jokes that he does, but that's the kind of humor. You get this like really stoic, straight-laced.
I do like
Knuckles.
Idris Elba when he's having fun, not in Cats, because here we're having too much fun in Cats. But like Hobbs and Shaw is really fun in that, and yeah, I like Idris Elba.
Yeah. So and really enjoyable. I'm well up for the third one.
Bring it on, man.
Especially because I know like the.
I might take the
teaser for
kids
it.
this week to see it, to be fair, because they enjoyed cinema last time when we went to see Sing 2, so I think they've got a taste for it now.
That's it. That is me.
Brilliant,
done.
thank you. Biggie!
So I'm hungover as fuck. Went out last night. So been struggling all
Have a drink
day.
now. Have a drink now, you'll feel better.
I went to a kids' party this afternoon. That was fun.
You fucking idiot.
Wasn't it Bouncy Castle, was it?
You
No.
went out and got pissed knowing that you had a kids'
I
party the
know.
next day. That is a schoolboy.
Half
Take a little
2 I
hip
went to
flask
bed.
with you.
Just, But anyway, moving on from that. This week I want to talk about the wallpaper engine. So
Fuck
no,
off!
I'm not. So I actually watched bizarrely the Murder on the Orient Express,
I like it, me.
and I actually, for all of Kenneth Branagh's screen chomping, he was actually
He
quite
does.
charming as the sort of Hercule Poirot. The cast again was massive, and it is, it's really weird, isn't it? It's kind of, it's an old tale. I didn't actually remember what happened when I saw it originally as an Agatha Christie's murder mystery.
Yeah, because it was done on Poirot as well, the actual show, wasn't it?
It's been on that. It's been on TV. I mean, I'm older than you
Yeah.
guys. There used to be a TV series that used to do these things.
I never knew the killer on that.
Really?
I don't remember it at all.
Commode and Mayo.
We did it at school.
Simon Mayo. I'd never seen it. So Simon Mayo was just like, well, everyone knows the killer. And he started
no.
talking about it. I was just like, skip. I was like, no. I genuinely didn't know
Yeah,
who
we did it at
who
school,
was.
that and Inspector Calls as well.
We did
that at
Inspector
school.
Calls.
I did Inspector Calls. I loved it.
I love them both. I think they're both incredible. But I love Agatha Christie in general. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, my wife and I sat down there and just sort of enjoyed it, really. I mean, it is what it is. It's an energetic pace, but a classic story.
The original Who Done It.
Yeah, and it is what it is. I agree with Oodles. I kind of enjoyed it. I know it's not the most exciting movie you'll ever see, but the cast are all very good at just trying to outdo each other and being all weird and
They are
outrageous.
chewing the scenery like they are at Broadway.
Absolutely.
Or West End. They're
Absolutely.
like, just chomping away.
But yeah, I'll check out the Nile.
I
But
liked it, mate.
the other movie that we did watch, which I do want to talk about, sorry, but I can't remember if any of you guys covered it or not, is The House of Gucci.
We didn't really, did we?
No, not yet. No, I've got it.
I
ready
have
to
seen it.
watch.
I have seen it, but I wasn't impressed enough to discuss it.
Oh, so for those who don't know, it stars Lady Gaga, Adam Driver,
Gaga.
Al Pacino, and unfortunately Jared Leto.
Do it properly. He does a Jared Leto.
Hey, Jared Leto.
Like a
We'll come
This
to
is
that.
not to the races.
We'll come to that in a bit. So, this movie tells the story from the late 70s as Gaga's Patrizia Regani, I'm not going to do it, daughter of a trucking service owner, meets drivers Maurice Gucci at like a socialites party.
Yep.
And after a whirlwind romance, they get married, and the story takes on that sort of Shakespearean tale as everyone involved with the Gucci family, their lives are all changed forever. I think Gaga practically puts the screen in her handbag. She upstages everyone she's on screen with.
She's a great actress, isn't she?
Yeah,
really good.
I thought she was very good, but you can tell that she's going full pelt in this. Driver
as well. I don't know if
is
you'd
really sort of straight and safe. And even Al Pacino, of all people, almost makes it through the movie into his last scene. Then he goes all woo-ha.
Hoo-ah!
But there is one
Great
person
ass!
who almost completely derails the movie. And of course it's Leto.
He's the worst thing to happen to Hollywood, mate.
Yeah,
He's fucking
agreed.
horrendous. I hate him.
He puts all of the great work that actors have made over the years in trying to deliver non-racist accents, and then absolutely,
I'm not a racist.
absolutely,
I don't honestly.
punch the fuck of that off a cliff. It's just
I don't get what happened to him, because I'll stick up for it. In the mid 2000s, he had some absolute killer roles, and he was really good with it.
Dallas Buyers Club.
He's great in Lord of War. I believe he's good. Is he in Requiem for a Dream?
Dallas Buyers Club.
Dallas Buyers Club. He's really good in that. And then all of a sudden, he just decided, I'm just going to go stupid
And
over
start
the
a
top
cult.
characters.
He full on started a
and
cult.
start a
Yeah.
cult and just be.
Yeah.
Didn't
Literally
everyone
said,
say that
maybe
he was,
we are a cult.
Yeah, I just don't know what.
He has
way
Jesus
just-
hair,
it's like a-
Jesus beard.
I think people
I'm
told
not
him
a racist,
that he
I
was going to be
promise.
that new wave of, the greatest actors of our generation sort of thing. I think
Fucking
maybe that
bell
went
end.
to his head. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
It's just
weird.
1 minute he's like Super Mario in this, and then the next he's almost sounding like Renee from Hello Hello. I just don't get
Oh
it.
no!
It's just so weird. He's
I
effeminate
hate him.
1 second, and he's a buffoon the next. I mean, it's all over the place.
I hate him. I think
He's wearing
Yeah, I'm just-
loads of prosthetics and still somehow manages to look almost nothing like the man that he's supposed to be portraying.
yeah.
And then I read the Empire magazine review afterwards, because I was kind of thinking, I kind of enjoyed the movie, but I just wanted to think, is this what I was thinking? And they said that Empire magazine said he looked like a character from a Batman movie. And it's
Like
just,
Penguin.
yeah, it's just weird. I just,
Yeah, but the penguin looks good in the
Yeah, not that Penguin. Not even DeVito Penguin. Like Penguin, what's his name from the original Adam West Penguin?
Yeah.
Is it? No, I forgot his name.
it's Burgess Meredith.
Burgess Meredith. Yeah, that's the guy.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, just listen to a clip of him talking there. He does sound so much like Mario. And the thing is, like the clip I found, it's a conversation between him and Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga is putting on an Italian accent,
She's Italian,
but
though.
she's good at it. Which is American Italian,
Yeah,
but, but she's good
If
at
you-
the Italian accent.
I've heard a clip of the real woman she's playing,
Yeah.
and then Lady Gaga right
That's good.
after. Spot on.
She's a good actor. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Jared Leto is not a good actor,
and the
human,
thing that
or
amazes
musician.
me,
Jared Leto into things.
and I think if we do a Biggies in the future, the rest of the cast deserve a Biggies award for the fact that they didn't feck up when he was acting in front of them, because they managed to do it so much. They're literally face to face with him at times in that movie, and he's doing that accent. I'm just like, how are
Did
you
you hear
not
about
laughing?
his rider on the actual set of House of Gucci, where he demanded a gold leaf toilet roll
Oh, fuck
and
off.
stuff? It's like, who the fuck
In
do you think you
character,
are,
mate.
mate?
Also, that would come
That's
off
what he
on
was
your
saying. He was
ass,
saying it was
wouldn't it?
method, and he wanted to be in a different hotel, and then he didn't want a trailer. He wanted to come straight down from his hotel with his entourage. Oh, I fucking hate him. Get him on the show. Let's get him on the show.
He is known for going full
Um,
method, isn't he?
you
And
know-
just basically just abusing his
damaged
co-stars.
goods.
Yeah.
He got some nominations for his role. Screen Actors Guild Award, Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Supporting Role, Jared Leto.
Does he have something on these people?
He pays them.
Probably.
AARP Movie for Grown Ups Award, Best Supporting
He also
Actor.
has horrendous and heinous allegations that Hollywood keeps sweeping under the carpet
Yeah.
about his private life that probably is true, knowing the man.
I'm really annoyed because he's starring in a TV show about WeWork.
Yeah.
The slightly culty office.
It's on Apple TV, isn't it?
thing. It's on Apple TV or Disney Plus, can't remember. It's him and Anne Hathaway in it, and it's just like, I really want to watch it because I've listened to so many podcasts about it because I like that shit. I like hearing about businesses that are going, fuck them out. That's why I'm enjoying The Dropout. It's like, but it's got Jared Leto in it, and I don't really want to endorse anything he's in.
Specifically why I didn't start
He's a
watching it. When I was
nonce.
looking for a show to watch on Apple TV, I was going through everything, and that was one of them. I was like, I can't Leto. I just don't have the. I
I don't know how he's getting away with his private
Never go
life,
full
though.
Leto.
That's the thing. I don't know how he's getting away with it. He must have some He's putting money in people's pockets. I don't get it. Get him off the screen. He is a terrible person.
I got. Sorry,
Yeah.
Iggy. What about the film? Let's hear about the film.
So
before we descend
fine.
into
yeah,
like,
I mean,
chaos.
it is just that sort
I've
of.
seen it. It's fine.
It's a drama. It's inspired by true events. I'd recommend it to watch if you can just handle the fact that he literally ruins, or literally almost ruins the movie, because everyone else in it is fine. The story's quite sad at the end. The reveal, which I won't necessarily say because it was quite interesting reveal at the end of the movie. It was really sad to hear.
Didn't the family say that it's like wildly inaccurate to
Yeah,
anything that actually
the
happened?
deviated
It's
the
quite
ending.
possibly.
They changed the ending for artistical reasons. That's what it says, or something like that.
to make it interesting
Make it
for
interesting
a
for
film.
a film.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one reveal up on the screen, which I thought was really sad. But yeah, it's one of those movies where the families all fall apart, and if you can handle that sort of drama of a movie, it's interesting enough. It's well acted by everybody apart from one person.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree.
Oh, and
Excellent,
sorry, Ridley
excellent.
Scott directed it, and he's like on autopilot, so there's nothing special about the movie. The cinematography
When was
isn't-
Ridley Scott's last good film?
Yeah.
Come on, cast your mind back.
It's supposed to be last
hang on.
year, wasn't it? Wasn't it that one with Last Kingdom or
Just come out.
something? No.
Last Kingdom's meant to be brilliant. I still haven't managed to get
Before
onto
Last
it, but it's
Kingdom.
meant to be great. Right, let's have a look quickly.
I believe his hit and miss ratio is getting.
The Martian.
Oh,
I
The
like that.
Martian is really good. Yeah, shit. Yeah, I suppose.
So what has he done? He's done the last duel. That's it.
Prometheus is really
You
good.
are
I'm
not-
joking. I'm joking.
Yeah. So apart Exodus, Gods and Kings, I heard was
Yeah,
bad.
shocking.
Prometheus, obviously bad. Robin Hood's meant to be boring. Body of Lies was boring.
Alien Covenant. I was on a producer on that, I think.
Was American Gangster any good?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I found
it was
it really
alright.
long-winded. I wasn't that excited about watching the American Gangster from what I remember.
I liked it. I think it was really good.
Yeah. Well, I think before The Martian, there's a few good ones in there, but the best one,
His hit ratio, that's what I mean. His hit to
Probably.
miss ratio is really.
Black Hawk Down,
Oh, yeah,
2001.
Black Hawk Down's really good.
Yeah, but that's like 2001 to 2017 for The Martian.
Yeah. He went on some rant recently as well, didn't he? Saying that Marvel's ruined cinema for everyone and no one's going to see
He's
his
right. He's
films.
ruined it for me.
Well, no one's going to see his films because there's a Marvel film out. It's like, well, no, people remember Prometheus. That's why they're not going.
I do remember, I think sadly, when he lost his brother, Tony Scott, I think that hit him quite hard, and I think he dropped
He
off
did.
movies for a little while.
But Tony
I
Scott's
remember right.
ratio is better than
It
Ridley
was.
Scott's.
Oh, yeah, Tony
way
Scott.
better,
Yeah.
way better ratio. But yeah,
I
excellent.
mean, Ridley Scott is like 84 now.
Yeah.
Just give it in.
Give it
Just stop. Just retire for the last few years. Don't worry about it.
Absolutely.
You've done enough.
Absolutely. Excellent, Candy. Come on.
I've done two. I've finished one game and I started a new one this week. So I finally
Oh,
finished
nerd.
Horizon. Nerd alert! I finally finished Horizon Forbidden West. So I just
Is it literally unplayable?
well,
Needs more makeup.
yeah, definitely.
Needs my boobs.
Now, technically, it's the gameplay is better than the original in every possible way, I think, and the graphics are probably the most beautiful I've ever seen in any game. The side quests are fully fleshed out, and it has a really strong start. About a third of the way through, it does suffer massively from a mid-story slump, and only kind of picks up again in the last couple of hours of story. So for me, about halfway through, I just put it on story mode, which is the easiest setting, and just mainlined the story. And
Yeah, man.
I had intended to go back and play the side quests, but I just haven't. And I hate to say it, but it was just boring. It was a really boring game. Like I
It's
said,
anything
Really
like the
need to
side
go
quest on
back
the
to
first
Killzone.
game. Yeah, the side quest on the first game would just they just didn't do anything. They didn't add anything.
I fell off that game because of the side
It's,
quests.
I mean,
I think it should have been a 20, 25
yeah, I agree.
hour more linear experience with a few side
I nearly got
quests.
put off
That
the
would be
first game in the
perfect.
first 10 minutes because Baby Aloy is
Oh,
the most
yeah.
horrendous thing I've ever seen in my life. It's awful.
yeah, she's creepy, but look, we don't have to
Chuck it.
suffer through that.
Worse than the Twilight Baby.
Oh, ooh,
It's
ooh.
close, I would say.
There, isn't it?
She
It's there.
does. She does look like a rubber doll, doesn't she? It's
It's
just like
awful. And she's like,
nothing looks
she's like,
real. It's like
Rost, Rost, come and
the ta-
save me.
I think they just took like the adult face model for it and just shrank it
Yeah.
down.
It's
They put a
fucking
baby
awful.
filter on it
I
on
don't.
Snapchat.
I adult Aloy. I think it looks brilliant. I've on record love her teeth and how shit they are. It's perfect. Do you know what I mean? But
well, even like in the
Aloy.
new, like when she's in a hotter environment, you can see her sweating. You can see like a visible like sheen to her skin, and in the colder weather,
she's a redhead. She can't handle the heat.
Exactly. So I can't complain really, graphic wise in terms of that. But no, the side quests were good. I couldn't be asked to go back and do them because the game is just boring. Like I said, like the story was off to an adequate start. After a good start, the story was adequate, and it did pick up towards the end. But the ending was super unsatisfactory, and it was basically just to build that there's definitely going to be a third one. But it sort of made everything feel like it was everything I'd achieved in the game was for nothing. And some characters just woefully underused as well. Like, there's one character called Regala, who could be potentially brilliant. And she showed up in the beginning. She was made out to be this, big threat warrior woman. And then she didn't show up again until the last scene, and just kind of crumpled, just completely underused. And I've spoken at length before about the bugs and glitches, all of which were graphical and not game breaking, but it got to a point where it was enough to be irritating, and the armor that I was using just insisted on popping in and out during cutscenes and everything. Like this armor plate.
Isn't the game Biggie Award winning as well?
For being literally unplayable, and for good reason. So yeah, ultimately, I found it quite disappointing, really. So
I wonder if it's going to be like the original, because for me, the original game wasn't. I only called it fantastic after I played the DLC, because I thought the DLC was phenomenal.
Was incredible. Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be again the same thing. I wonder if Guerrilla, maybe Biggie's right. Maybe they should go back to Killzone and see what they can do.
Well, it doesn't seem like they're going to. I don't know. I think they're going to go straight on.
Time. They could.
I'd like to see what they can do with Killzone, like back to the trench warfare of the original one. See what they can do with this PS5. Come on.
You say that they did Shadowfall.
Oh God, it was so bad.
You don't talk about that. You don't talk about that.
So bad. Oh God, it was so bad. Oh, I'm having flashbacks. I'm having PTSD. I've got a new shiny PS4. What game I've got? Shadowfall. This looks brilliant. When can I shoot? In 3 hours.
So boring.
So dull.
It was.
So yeah, a bit boring, I'm afraid to say. But from one Ashley Birch game to another, I started Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Oh yes.
I've played this.
Me and Gadget are keen on this.
Well, wait, hold up.
What?
Oh.
So I've played this for about 10 hours, half as a solo campaign by myself, and about half multiplayer with a couple of friends.
You've got friends other than us?
Not that many, but enough to play Tiny Tina. I wrote them into it. I paid them off.
That's 3.
Yeah.
Well, you're like, here, guys, I'll give you a free tattoo if you play a game with me.
Yeah, exactly. So the half of the game that I've played by myself, I have really enjoyed. It's like sort of standard Borderlands fare. So loot coming out your ears, Easter eggs, quips, and then cut in with that, you've got sort of lots of Dungeons and Dragons style systems, which is seeing as we're playing a campaign of our own, it is nice to see what actually is being used from Dungeons and Dragons. Although they call it bunkers and badasses in the game.
Which I'm into.
Yes.
Because they're not allowed to have the rights to the name, are they?
Can we change our?
To be fair as well, for Merchants, they have released Bunkers and Badasses as a D&D style source book. Like, they've made the game into a real thing.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that'd
be a nice
You
thing
could do a
to
Bunkers
have.
and Badasses one shot if someone wants to let me take £60 out of the Patreon account because it's expensive.
No, we're fine.
Stick with the Gadget original.
Yeah, I prefer your original works, mate. You're like a Tolkien of D&D.
It truly is.
Why? Because I'm cheap.
Yeah, and you used to be a World War I veteran.
Actually, it's the most known fact about me.
You've been in the trenches, you know.
Top of my Wikipedia page.
That needs to go in your bio now.
World War I vet.
Not many of you will know this about me, but I used to be a World War.
Anyway, can I talk about the game?
Sorry.
Can you relax?
So you've got your the levels, sort of Borderlands style. But unlike traditional Borderlands, you do have like a world map, which is kind of Final Fantasy style, like Final Fantasy 7, 8, so you can travel around to each location by foot. So, and a few sort of random encounters as well on your way. And oh my God. So whilst you're on this world map, your character is just adorable. It looks like a little bobblehead. So you've got a gigantic head, tiny little body.
Can you create your character?
Yes, you can. Yeah, the character creator's fun. So you get sort of a choice of maybe 10 different things of each part of your body or whatever. But like Borderlands, as you go through it, playing it, you can collect things. You can collect dyes, hairstyles, masks, this, that, and the other. So it's pretty fun.
In a first-person game.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. The gameplay is probably slightly less frantic than Borderlands. The music is nice and kind of medieval. And I think it's sort of slightly less stylized in the cel-shaded way as well, although I think I'd probably have to go back to Borderlands 3 and just give it a quick blast because I might be misremembering. Ashley Birch, always incredible as Tiny Tina, especially, like I said, coming straight from Horizon. It's incredible to see like what a range she has. And I'm playing it on the normal difficulty so far. The main quests have not been at all challenging, really. If there is a difficult mode, I haven't unlocked it yet. But the side quests, they do seem to be a lot more of a challenge. And I think you would probably benefit from taking a couple of friends along, which brings me to the multiplayer aspect.
Oh, no.
It is fucking woefully undercooked in terms of stability. It's...
Oh dear.
It is awful. It is really bad. So the game is cross-platform. So what you do is you're able to use 2K's shift system to play with others on different consoles.
Known perfect system.
It barely works. So I was actually playing it multiplayer this afternoon. I played it for about 3 hours with Acid Pearl and Mothram Deer, actually, listeners of the show, who were playing it on PS4 and PS5. I'm playing it on Xbox myself. It took us half an hour to try and connect to each other. Even when we did manage to finally connect, the chat system wasn't working properly. So yeah, so weirdly, actually, it wasn't so much a problem between the Xbox and PS5. We could hear each other fine. It was the PS4 to PS5 that was having the trouble.
That's fucking stupid.
It's ridiculous. So we ended up, luckily we managed to use Discord to chat, but that's not really the point. It should just work. And
it's Sunday as well. Discord usually goes down on a Sunday.
Yeah, that's true. Discord
You'd have been fucked.
Saved the day. But we have played. We did a bit of a playthrough together a couple of days ago as well, and even then we really struggled to connect to each other via shift. It kept sort of appearing as though we were offline, and even now I don't think they're showing as shift friends. So we have to go sort of ask about Faceway to connect to each other.
It's so complicated. I
don't know.
When you play Battlefield and EA friends list, and it's just like, what the fuck? We're 3 or 4 of us are playing Battlefield PS5. We're friends in our own fucking friends list. Why do I have to use EA to be friends?
Yeah, but then again, you've still got to play Battlefield 5.
It's ridiculous. I don't understand why they do things like this. It just isn't necessary.
Some companies have just got an exceptional netcode, haven't they? And some just, I don't know what it is. I don't think they've tested it.
If you play Borderlands 1, 2, or 3, and you're all playing on the same system, the multiplayer works absolutely fine. Not a problem.
It's 2022, though. That shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
I think this is the first one that's actually cross-platform, isn't it? I think obviously the last ones were multiplayer, but I don't think it was cross-platform. But yeah, it's
shit,
just,
man. It's shit.
It's super shit. So
yeah, it's dog shit.
Yeah, so I mentioned we were playing it for about 3 hours. Most of the time was spent playing sort of a reasonably challenging, certainly a long side quest. And we were making some headway. We got to the final boss. Sure enough, I got disconnected, and this was about 10 minutes before I had to stop to start getting ready for the pod as well. I just couldn't be asked for the half-hour rigmarole of trying to get connected again. So, it also suffers really badly, multiplayer with lag. And I know probably some of this is because one of us is playing on a last-gen console, but even with the single player, so like I said, I'm playing on the Series X, so there should be no problem whatsoever. But there's been some sort of noticeable pop-in with the rendering of objects and stuff, and some...
Look, I've played Rocket League with my son on a Switch and me on a PS5. Not a fucking stutter.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't think Borderlands
I
is
understand
particularly in graphics heavy as well. Like, fair enough, I don't really know how it works, but
I was looking forward to playing this with Gadget, but at least he's probably going to get it on Xbox, and I'm going to be on PS5. So,
but that hasn't proved the
this is
problem
worrying.
yet. It's been just as much of a problem between your PlayStation systems. So yeah,
We could wait for it to like be less raw.
Yeah, we could.
I'm
mate, we
wondering
could,
if a
we
patch
could.
is going to fix it or not. It certainly might fix the
I'll be
rendering
up for
issues.
playing it as well because I'm a massive Borderlands fan.
Yeah,
I
might
just
be
think
able to
the
sort
biggest-
I might be able to sort some codes as well.
The problem with
So,
Borderlands is there are generally issues when they launch at first, and they do have that pop in, pop out, the glitches, and they do get fixed. And when it's actually, like you say, not as raw, they're perfectly playable. And
Let's
I do
hope this is the
recommend,
case. Yeah.
and I do recommend playing the campaign first and then doing the co-op, because when you're playing with other people, you miss the jokes, you miss a lot of stuff. So if you really want to take that all in, do the main game
I
first.
watched a review of it, and it looked really fun to me. And I'm not a Borderlands fan. I've played pre-sequel for about 6 hours. I've played 3 for about 15 hours, and I just dropped off it. But I watched the review of this, and it looked more my cup of tea. It's got a little bit of a leveling system. It's got magic. It's got more melee. I mean, I know the melee's half cooked, but
it's much better in this one.
sticking.
It's much better than previous Borderlands. Look, here's the thing. I'm probably shitting on it too much because of the experience I had with multiplayer today. But under those problems, it is a really, really fun game. It's hard to look past when a lot of people are going to be playing it multiplayer, and everything's more fun when it's multiplayer. Are people actually, when there's so many games coming out at the moment, are people actually going to stick around and wait for it to be cooked before they start fucking up?
There's the diehard Borderlands fans though that won't have any bad things said about it. Like they're insane. Some of them.
I mean,
the DLC
like I said, the game
for
itself.
Borderlands sometimes was quite hit and miss. But when that Tiny Tina one came out, the D&D one was so cool because it was really funny. It was really funny. It was really well done.
My only issue is from a technical perspective. So hopefully a couple of patches down the line and we'll be golden. Because, like I said, there is a fun game. When it's been working, it has been really fun. And the single player, despite the questionable load times, it has been really fun. And the jokes have been on point and probably funnier than Borderlands as well. And it's just that little bit less hectic. So you won't be getting a migraine quite as quickly as you do playing Borderlands, I don't think.
It's reviewed quite positively as well, so I've got high hopes for it. I'd prefer him to stick to this kind of thing than Borderlands itself, because Borderlands just didn't.
I think 2 was the best so far. 3 was just a bit
That's
too
the one I
scary.
haven't played. I haven't played 2, and everyone keeps saying, play 2, you'll like 2. I've got it on Switch, I've just not touched it. So I think I've got it on Switch or PS4, I can't remember. But yeah,
I was just looking up the cast list for it as well. They've got a really good cast for it. Like the big bad evil guy's played by Will Arnett.
Fucking hell, he's incredible at anything he does.
And Andy Samberg's in it. Wanda Sykes.
Is Matt Mercer in it?
No, he's not.
Well, they missed the trick.
Andy Samberg is just playing Andy Samberg as well.
That's all he plays.
He
does it very well.
He does do the best Samberg.
Brilliant, lovely Nexus from us all. And due to my piss poor planning, we're going to continue to hear from Candy because it's a Candy episode, guys, and it's time for the main event. So keep them going, Candy. Keep the boys happy. Keep going.
Yeah, so today's subject, we are doing Unpopular Opinion, and this is just completely wide open, all-encompassing, whatever you want to talk about. So it could be a film that you love and everyone hates, or vice versa. You hate it, everyone absolutely loves it. It can be toys, books, literally.
It's too much.
Literally anything. So I think, Gadget, what have you got for us?
Are we putting his Gadget rant hat on? Or is this
maybe for this first one?
Okay, cool.
So for this first one, I've been humming and hawing about it because when we were planning it, I thought, maybe I could go team sports or football again. And I know Stig's got some shit prepared to come back on that one, but I've done that rant many times before, and it's a satisfying rant. It's like a kind of rant where you need a cigarette afterwards.
It always ends with punching horses, though.
It does. Stop punching horses, people. Horses are nice, idiot, derpy things.
Sequel to Monkey Puncher.
Horse puncher.
But I did find one when I was kind of doing a little bit of research for some stuff for the green room, and someone just pointed this out, and it's just like, yes, this is exactly my opinion. Will Ferrell isn't funny, and he's never been funny.
Okay, elaborate.
He is the worst. Will
done. That's it.
Yeah, no, he is the no.
He is
So
worst.
Will Ferrell, he's the Nicolas Cage of comedy. In that he comes in, he does one thing, and it's usually a shouty Will Ferrell.
How now, Brown cow?
The only film I can think of where he's done anything to act himself away from being Will Ferrell is Anchorman, and I do enjoy Anchorman because he is actually acting and playing a character there, which he then ruined with Anchorman 2, which is one of the worst films to ever exist.
Anchorman 2.
But every Will Ferrell films after Elf, he has just done the Will Ferrell thing. He has been shouty. It's improvised comedy. It's usually the worst takes of anything. Like, people riff on Step Brothers all the time. I fucking hate that film.
Really?
It's so bad.
I adore Step Brothers.
Love it.
I like it.
Oh, God,
I like
it's
it.
terrible. There is one gag in that film, in that entire nearly 2-hour film that I like,
Which
and that's
one?
where they build the bunk beds. He jumps in the bed and it slams down on top of John C. Reilly. Great visual
So
humor.
much room for activities.
So much blood.
No,
The
God,
drum
it's
kit.
bad. No,
I put my nuts
Terrible.
on your drum set.
fucking Talladega Nights was terrible.
Oh, fuck
Blades
off.
of Glory
Jacob
was
Bank.
terrible.
It's good.
Oh, fuck me. No, they are films written by simpletons for simpletons. They are dreadful, lowest common denominator humor.
Dare you, sir?
I really like Will Ferrell, mate.
No,
And-
I agree.
and
He's very hit and miss, without a doubt.
Have you seen his
No,
recent
he's
film,
missing,
Get
missing,
Hard?
missing, miss.
Get Hard's really funny. With
No, it's not.
it is.
That one looked a bit
No,
shit.
it's
Other guys
It's
was good,
really
though.
funny with what's his name, little man.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, yeah. It's really funny. I pissed myself all the way through that.
Can anybody defend the Sherlock Holmes film he did?
No,
Never watched
it's
it.
terrible. It's awful. It's awful.
Eurovision was good as well.
No, it was not.
It was good.
Enjoyed that film.
A Song of Ice and Fire.
No, oh my God, no. What is wrong with you all?
I
Well,
liked
actually, to be
it.
fair, this is perfect because this is an unpopular opinion because you all like him. I fucking can't stand him. To the point where if he's in a film in any capacity, I will just turn it off. I
Oh, God.
really dislike him.
What about Jane Silent Bob Strike Back?
He has a 2-minute cameo in that where he gets shot in the neck, so I'm kind of all right with it.
When it's like, let the couple go.
Elf.
Such a handsome family. And it's got that monkey. It's funny. It's funny.
That's a fine looking boy you have there.
That's a fine looking boy. It's a fucking
Elf is a
monkey.
Elf is a Christmas classic.
It is. Elf's great.
literally, it's now in the pantheon of Christmas classics.
I know, I agree. I like Elf. And the reason why I like Elf is because he is having to be reined into a character.
Wildly different.
Have you seen the
yeah.
other guys?
It's wildly different, and it's not improvised as well. Like I said, 99. I think it's also I just generally detest improvised humor in films.
Have you watched the
Like-
other guys? With,
Yeah, I've
with
seen
Mark
The Other
Wahlberg. Gator nose. Oh, and he's fucking slagging off his wife, and she's smoking hot. And it's like, oh God, why'd you dress like this? And she just looks. Is it evil? No, what's her name? What's her name in it? I forgot.
God,
Beautiful, beautiful woman.
she was in Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
2.
and he's like, why'd you have to dress like a hobo? And she looks absolutely stunning.
Eva Mendes.
Eva Mendes, yeah. And it's like, oh, I fucking love the other guys. It's so good. And they give him a fucking wooden
that's
gun.
just doubling down on it because you got Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg in the same film.
Yeah, but Mark Wahlberg's funny when he's funny. He's not good when he's
Mark
serious.
Wahlberg's never been funny.
Do you know, actually, the funniest part of that film is the rock and
when
Samuel
they jump off
Jackson,
that building.
and they're barely in it.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, it just I really, really dislike Will Ferrell. I find him unfunny. I find his comic inclinations to be the worst part of it. Like I say, if he's given a script and he's told to play a character, like an Elf, like an Anchorman, he can deliver lines well, and he has good comic timing. But his instincts for what is funny, I don't like. When he's allowed to improvise around humor, when he's allowed to basically be told, "Go on, do your Will Ferrell thing," I find him absolutely grating.
Nearly
it was
90%
the same-
of Anchorman is improvised, though. They made a whole sequel to it due to improvisation. So I don't think your science warrants that.
I thought Anchorman was heavily scripted.
No, it was most of it was completely
there is
like
literally
90% improvisation.
There is two versions of Anchorman because they had so much improvisation and extra
They did a
scenes.
1.5 film due to it.
They made another Anchorman film with it's shit, but
the improvisation.
Okay,
film
well, I'll concede that one, but I guess with Anchorman, I think what works for it is he is playing a character. He is not just doing the Will Ferrell thing.
Supporting cast help as well.
You really do.
No, the
they really
cast
do.
are great in
They
it.
really do. Yeah.
It's perfectly valid. Honestly, it's not just you. There are plenty of other people who hate Will Ferrell.
It is.
I'm indifferent to him. I enjoy him in a lot of films, but there's many things I think he's terrible in. So I can completely.
I think there's
see
probably
it.
quite a
Blades
few.
of Glory. Do you like Blades of Glory? Chad Michaels. Oh God, I love that film.
I think that's the risk of being a comedy actor, isn't it? You're always in someone's firelight. If your comedy doesn't suit everyone's tastes, you're going to be in the firing line for a lot of hate. I think
Adam Sandler,
Jack Black as well. He's another one that tends to. He's a bit of a love him or hate him sort of character, isn't he? But have you ever seen
with Jack Black? I like Tenacious D. I don't really like Jack Black. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
It's
can
weird,
understand that. Did you ever see Stranger Than Fiction, the one that's sort of more semi-serious film that he did?
I did, yeah.
No, but I've been told that he's really good in it.
Yeah, I didn't like it the first time I saw it because I was expecting Will Ferrell, and actually he's very kind of toned down, kind of a sort of beaten down kind of character. So it might be worth giving that a go and see what you think of him in a serious role.
That's like with me and the film Funny People. I don't dislike Funny People, even though the star of the show.
Have you seen the drum off with Will Ferrell and Chad from Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Yes.
A lot of people get them mixed up, don't they? And him drumming was really funny. And he throws out that classic line when he does a little drum solo and he goes, "Wow, I've just blown my own mind." I love it. I thought he was brilliant. I thought that was really good.
I liked him on Saturday Night Live on the clips as well.
He had some classic ones, didn't he, on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
Needs more cowbell.
When he used to do his
cowbell one.
Here's
when he used to do his George Bush.
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, it is now.
Oh, Saturday Night Live.
I totally agree with Stig on that.
Yeah.
Don't know how people like it.
It used to be good.
He's got a different sense of comedy, haven't they?
But yes, so Will Ferrell, put him in the bin. I really
Off to a strong start there.
Is most of his body of work.
Fair enough. I can understand. I can understand why you wouldn't like him. I disagree, but I understand.
Valid.
Stig, who you got for us, or what you got for us?
This is going to be a really difficult one for you to hold stomach because, despite what I've said before, the more I think about it, the more that I've looked into it and I've rewatched these films, I think Zack Snyder's Snyderverse is a cinematic masterpiece.
I've been saying it all along.
Oh, so this is what a stroke feels like.
I've been saying it.
Is it fuck? It's bullshit. I just caught you out there.
For a second, I was going to be sick.
Oodles just exposed himself.
I've told you about how I love the Justice
What's
League.
his opinion, though?
It's wank anyway. That's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about something that I really enjoy, which seems to get a kick in, including from people on this podcast previously. I really like, will always like, and enjoy watching Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's true.
I think it is such an enjoyable film, despite its dodgy history, despite the dodgy geography, and even dodgier accents. I think that there's so much to love about this film in terms of just an enjoyable romp of I think it's just
historical epic.
I even like the Bryan Adams song. There, I said it. I don't care.
I've never seen it.
I think it's
what? Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And this could stem from watching it as a kid, enjoying it as a kid. More likely does, but it hasn't tainted my enjoyment of it. I think, obviously, for starters, it has great bad guys. Alan Rickman is the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Absolutely.
Mr. Hood.
Yeah, he's dripping with menace, ill intent. He's unbalanced. There are apparently he had to tone it down because they thought he was stealing the show.
He doesn't have a Nottingham accent, though.
Oh, none of them have the proper accent. Accents are all over the place, but who gives a shit? That does not bother me one bit. Like the witch. I always found her quite scary when I was younger. and like even his like kind of cowardly cousin is, he's a bit sniveling cousin. Like I just think that as together, Guy of Gisborne, that's his name.
Gisborne.
Yeah, I just think as a collective, all the bad guys in it are really, really good. Like they just work off each other so well. The rest of the supporting cast, the guy who plays Friar Tuck, Mike McShane, I think he's a brilliant Friar Tuck. He's really funny. Little John is really good. His wife is hilarious. And Morgan Freeman, like
what about
as Azim, is
Christian Slater?
Christian Slater is not part of the good.
Is he Will Scarlet?
Will Scarlet. He's Will Scarlet. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
He's Will Scarlet. Yeah.
What's he doing recently?
Yeah.
Drugs.
Adverts for HP.
Yeah. Bring back Slater.
He's
I like
doing
him.
corporate adverts these days.
Hi, I'm Christian Slater. He did the Sabre printer advert on The Office, didn't he?
Which is why it's really funny that he's doing printer adverts now.
Christian Slater.
It's quite a dark edge to it for a PG like family blockbuster.
Is it a PG?
It's got scenes of men getting their hands chopped off, lots of countless arrows flying into bodies, stabbings,
Children hanging as well, wasn't there at one point?
Yeah, it's like
as all good children should.
There's magic, like witches with magic and everything, and she's like, there's that scene where she gets like stabbed by Morgan Freeman's character, and she's just like, she looks so gruesome and like just like I think she's like spitting that like kind of dribbling from her mouth as she dies, and like for a PG film, like it's it's pushing the limits.
I don't mind it at all, mate. I'm kind of with you. Do you know it's similar to the like Braveheart and stuff like that. I don't really like Braveheart, but I like this.
I do like Braveheart. I really like Braveheart, to be fair. Yeah. But I think that the strongest thing about this film is the action scenes.
Yeah.
I think it's packed with absolutely brilliant action scenes. The sheriff's attacking the Merry Men compound. There's the flaming arrow attack is great. There's a lot of it that's like just kind of full of chaos and tension, like when they're just about to be hung, and all of a sudden, like Robin and the Merry Men kind of save the day, like at the last minute and all that. It's a swashbuckling blockbuster. It's really good fun, and I will not apologize for enjoying it. It's a 4 out of 5 film for me.
It still looks good for its age as well, I think.
Yeah, but it gets a kick in.
Yeah.
One good thing about Prince of Thieves is that we got Men of Tights out of it.
Yeah.
We're men in tights.
I think probably a lot of people couldn't see past
brilliant.
Robin Hood having an American accent. I think that's probably why, certainly in this country, it probably got panned.
It's not even an American accent. It's the weirdest accent I've ever heard in my life.
To be fair, Christian Slater's accent is more egregious in it because exactly, it's like that. It's like, I don't like Kevin Costner playing Robin Hood, but fine, whatever. But God, every time Will Scarlet's on the screen, I want to punch things.
Robin, we've got to go.
I have a particular distaste for the film, mostly because as part of my music A level, we had to do the music for this film because of Michael Kamen's score, because it is an expertly placed score, but it's like the bubblegum of big movie scores. It's like it hits the numbers every time. It's like point perfect.
He said here, this is action.
It's when you showed me that little
bring in the motif, bring in all this and all that
fact nugget where the Bryan Adams song is not actually in the film.
No, it's not. It's not in the film, and Bryan Adams didn't. The melody, that was written by Michael Kamen.
Yeah, he took that, didn't he, for the song?
Yeah,
that's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's in the music video. I think it's called Robin Hood and stuff.
Yeah, it's got the arrow.
So by association, I don't even.
It probably plays in the credits, doesn't it? But
it plays in the credits. Yeah,
he knows. He knows.
But yeah, I had to watch the film about 14 times in 2 months.
I've told you, I had to watch Titanic loads at school, and I hated it.
I would probably hate it if I had to do something like that, but it's a general film. Gets a panning from lots of people.
I like it, mate. It's better than Waterworld.
I like it. Do you know what? Just about to say, I quite like Waterworld as well.
Waterworld is better than people say it is.
It's not.
Yep.
It's not a good film, but it's better than people say it is.
Mad Max on jet skis. Let's go.
There's still a Waterworld ride at Universal Studios. I mean, Universal must still be like really hanging on to Waterworld.
And Dennis Hopper's getting that money every day.
You could do a good Waterworld film. It could just be better, but I don't mind.
You should get Denis Villeneuve to do a remake of Waterworld. See what happens.
To be fair, I'd watch that.
I'd watch the shit out of that.
90s Costner films. Kevin Costner. Maybe I should have just said Kevin Costner.
People just fancied him, didn't they?
Do you like The Postman?
I've never seen that one, but I
Dances
like.
with Wolves?
I think
Yes.
so.
I like Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams is good.
Field of Dreams is good. I think I just can't imagine enjoying Prince of
New
Thieves
show.
without having Alan Rickman in it. Like with Rickman, and it's a 3 out of 5 for me. But without,
Yeah, but you could say about any kind of film that's got a central
Harry Potter.
performance. Like, let's take someone out of like I don't know.
Let's take Hans Gruber out of Die Hard.
Yeah, let's take Hans Gruber and Bruce Willis out of Die Hard.
Replace him with
It's a
Will
shit
Ferrell.
Film. Like you could say about anything.
I mean,
really.
I don't know because he's a
Imagine that.
supporting
He
member,
does
isn't
steal
he?
the show. Do you know what I mean? He is the.
Yeah, but in the Robin Hood mythos, in the lore, the Sheriff of Nottingham steals the show anyway. He's the Darth Vader. He's the baddie.
But is a film that good if it relies on
Doesn't
just
do.
one person or one character to hold it up?
Have you ever seen John Wick?
Oh yeah, that was all about the dog. You
About
know it.
one man. It's not. The dog's in it for the first 5 minutes.
Here's another Costner film that I quite like, The Bodyguard.
Oh,
I hate
Yep.
The Bodyguard.
that's a rough film, that.
I hate it. It's problematic as well.
What else has he been in?
Made Dolly Parton even
yeah.
richer, though.
It did. Really rich. And she deserves every...
Untouchables.
Untouchables is good. Yes. There you go. There you go. Kevin
So, yeah,
Costner.
maybe just Kevin Costner.
Yeah. What was it?
Other than Batman vs Superman, because his character is stupid.
And so was
As Dark Kent.
Mm.
Yeah.
Don't save me, bro. Don't
Save me. No one's allowed to
save
see who
me.
you are, despite the fact that you can go faster than the speed
Clark,
of light.
even though no one will see even though no one will see this, Clark, don't save me.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry,
fair
moving
enough.
on.
Biggie, who have you got? What you got? What you bringing?
Oh dear.
Killzone.
No. Well, I have done actually. Shut down my notes. Hold on a sec.
You
I
sausage.
just chooses his back up.
He accidentally opened Netflix and got
Just to
angry.
let you all know, listeners,
gonna end up shutting
listeners and
Windows
viewers,
down.
He's got a new
I'm back.
laptop. This is new to him.
I'm back. Here we go. Okay, so ready for this? Cakes are not as good as people think they are. So, point in question. I've just come
End
back.
the podcast now.
Did you say cakes?
I've just
Hey,
come
You know,
back.
Stig's
from-
50% cake, 50% crisps.
Yeah. I've just come back from a kid's 5th birthday party. During the food party, a standard kid's birthday cake was brought out. Unlike with candles.
What's your problem? You said standard.
And boy stuff decoration on it. And after the trademarked birthday song and candles were blown out, the cake was sliced up and given to the kids, and no fucker liked it. It was your typical Victorian sponge affair, which was pretty dry, but split in the middle with some jam and cream combo and topped off with that sugary, sweet, sickly icing. The spectacle of the birthday cake I get, but the product itself, it's wank. And the same goes for wedding cakes. These overpriced, huge work of art structures are accidents waiting to happen as the newly wedded, temporary happy couple indulge themselves with cute co-op slicing his hilarity as the cake is stuffed into the mouth of the other or smeared all over their face. Said cake is then served around the friends and families as the guests whisper to each other as they guess how long the couple will probably stay together. Black Forest gâteaux, Christmas cakes,
Hang on.
Hang
Sorry
on.
to interrupt you.
Carrot cake.
I know.
Hello,
Let
it's
him
got
go.
vegetables in it. Cheesecake, slice of diabetes, anyone? Anyone for lard cake or goose fat crumble? There really is no other horrifying sight than of a huge lunch or dinner with nibbles, starters, and a heavy main course. For the old people to say, I'm sorry, I couldn't eat it all. I'm full. That was too much. And then to suddenly say, I've left the room for dessert. And then they've had their eyes on what they've seen from the beginning. They're not interested in the healthy stuff. They just want that Battenberg bastards. Watch as they try to talk as the nuggets of cake fall out of their mouth and they're like the shrunken gum. They lick their shrunken gums like a sex goblin. Oh, you want a bit of ice cream as well on the side? Fuck's sake. Cakes are just overindulgent for self-indulgent people. People are even decorating cakes for birthdays with chocolate bars and biscuits. If there wasn't enough calories in a cake already, here's some heart disease on top for you. Here's a cake I've made for you. Really? If you've done all the sponge and icing, then you've just gone and bought a box of Cadbury's fingers and stuck them all around and topped it off with Revels, you lazy shit. Fuck off. And finally, at the opposite end of the scale, you now have cake artists who are using their incredible baking skills to create cakes that look like everyday objects. Whilst I too am impressed by this sorcery, imagine living with someone who does that and has the paranoia of expecting every object around their house now to have a 50% chance of turning out to be cake. Do you wander around with a knife, gently stabbing things, or do you just... Or do you take a risk when going for a dump as you reach over to the toilet paper to find out it's been replaced with a passion fruit and pistachio concoction? Your child has a nasty accident and you reach over to get the first aid kit and all you get back is a fistful of frosting. Cakes. Fuck off.
Biggie, is your villain origin story, Biggie, that you got lost in a cake shop once?
That has to be.
It is.
That has to be your best monologue ever. Thank
And I'm
you.
sorry for trying to interrupt it, but there was a moment in there where you said something about wedding cakes, and I distinctly remember you showing us a picture of you
Eating
doing the
wedding
exact
cake.
same thing in your wedding.
Exactly.
So I just had a quick,
Exactly.
I just had a quick
We're all-
hop onto your Facebook page
We're
here.
all guilty of it. We're
He's
all
got an
guilty
album
of
Cutting
it.
and
called
chomp-
Cakes.
The cutting and chomping of the cake. And there you are, about to feed your wife some of the
So are you a
cake.
liar?
Exactly.
Are you a liar?
No, not at
I
all.
think you're a
And
liar.
Do you know what?
I think you're a bad husband.
But you know, I generally not really.
Someone who hates cake so much you force it into your wife's mouth.
Just to keep it quiet.
Mrs. Biggie.
But no, just generally, I'm not a fan of cakes. I just find them really heavy, sickly. Just not.
You've
if
been eating
people
the
are
wrong
saying, "Do you want
cakes."
cake?" I'm just generally like,
Fucking
no,
love cake.
it's just not
You
for
know,
me.
you can't say no to cake.
I know.
If someone offers you
I
one.
do. I do.
You know that
Do you know
was
what? I
the
generally do. I generally do. But I know there are certain cakes you like. I don't mind a bit of cheesecake. In it.
That's not really a
Serious one,
cake. That's
yeah.
more of a
It's not a
kind of-
cake.
Cake.
just a
But
pudding,
it's a
isn't
cake. It's
it?
got the word cake in it. It's cake.
That's it.
Yes.
So it's
Jaffa
yellow
cake.
cake uranium.
Jaffa cakes are
is that a
officially
cake to you?
cakes. And I do like a Jaffa
cake is
cake.
a
Yellow
cake,
cake
to be fair,
uranium's
it's not-
even better, Gadget. You can't eat that. You'll die.
But yeah, cake.
Funny thing is, Kate's just made a load of cakes today for a school bake
Yeah.
off, and obviously I will eat the leftovers.
I think it
I
just.
like
And then
cake,
everything to
but
go
to the school.
not as
Cake
much
is
as the
wonderful.
next man. I mean, look at me. I don't like cake that much.
You don't eat anything.
This
You
big
don't
from
eat
eating
anything.
cake.
I can't believe it.
Well,
Do you hate cake or just hate fun?
you got done then, mate.
No, no. Like I say, I don't mind just the little bits.
Thing
but
is,
that
though, we've got a narrative
overindulging
here.
Stuff is just ugh.
We've got a narrative here, Biggie. Your favourite game's Killzone. Your least favourite food's cake. You don't like fun.
I can
bet you
have
say,
my cake and
"Nah,
eat it too.
Your wife's like, what do you want for dinner? You're like, I'll have a cream cracker with nothing on it.
Do you know what?
Just
She
to-
it's
just
the
to-
last 3 years she's made chocolate cake for me for my birthday, and I don't eat it.
He's whispering.
Goes
I
to,
love how he had a little look around there, make
Yeah.
sure my door's shut.
everybody else eats it. I just have a little nibble of it and go, yeah, it's really nice,
I
lovely.
fucking love a good moist chocolate.
Yeah, with a
cake.
cup of tea. Tea
No,
and
I don't think
cake.
tea's crap.
No, tea and cake. It's the
Unpopular
perfect.
opinion.
Perfect partnership.
Can I get a nice chocolate fudge cake, stick it in the microwave for 10 seconds so
Yeah.
it gets a bit melty in the middle?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Bit of ice
Red
cream with it as
velvet.
well.
Ice cream
So the
on the
ice cream-
side.
Vanilla ice
The
cream.
ice cream starts to melt
Yeah,
around
that
it. Oh,
Cornish
yeah.
clotted vanilla ice cream.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I agree. Cake's nice. It is an indulgent. It is an indulgent food. It's something that you should have once a month, at the very, very most.
It's a symbol
You
of
should be having
happiness
cake.
as
I don't
well,
have
isn't it?
once a
Cake.
month. I don't even have it once a month. I just love a cake. One time, me and my friend, when years and years ago, I think I may have told this before. I don't know if I have to you guys, but he used to have two PCs in his bedroom. He just bring his dad's up to his room, so we'd play like multiplayer stuff all night.
Yeah.
And one night we just literally we bought a birthday cake from Tesco's, kids, big
Yeah.
birthday
Well,
cake
alright,
meant
so-
to serve like 14, 16 people, and we just sat there with a knife, just taking slices of this cake all night. That was eating this cake. We finished it off.
And then they made love until the early morning.
Do you know what? My wedding cake
Oh,
was
it wouldn't-
mango and
Not after all that
passion fruit.
cake.
Oh, no way.
It was really nice.
Cake is...
Yeah.
Your wedding cake was
Yeah,
nice.
it's a mango and
Oh,
passion
here
fruit.
we go.
It was really nice.
So
Here
you've just
we
been
go.
eating the wrong
Here.
cake. It's not cake in general. It's just you've had bad
No,
cake.
but again, I only had a little bit because I just find it really too heavy.
What
Really
about
do,
a bun?
really,
That's
really
just a
do.
baby cake.
Huh?
A bun is just a baby cake. It's true. I like
Baby
buns.
cakes.
Yeah, cakes
Huh?
can do one.
Do you like muffins?
yeah,
That's
muffin.
a
How do you
cake.
feel about muffins?
Ah, they're all right.
What about a bag of crisps?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there we go.
What about a French fancy?
Oh,
There's a few of those in my time.
I bet you have. He's got one in every dock.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm not having it. No,
I'm not having that.
permission denied. Oodles, what have you got?
Bald men aren't handsome. I'm joking.
Oi.
I'm joking. I see it a lot, actually. I'm joking, by the way, but I see a lot of people saying, oh, God, aren't bald men handsome?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that either. That is a weird thing.
It's one of those things. It is said, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think hair relates to
you have to have the
handsomeness
right head
at
shape
all.
for it, though.
Like,
I think it's the face.
yeah.
It does suit certain people. Imagine Jason Statham with like a head full of like an
Well,
afro.
I was about to say though, Jason Statham. People like lots of people say, isn't he gorgeous? And I look at him, I think he looks like a fucking bulldog.
It's same with Mahatma Gandhi. He wouldn't have been good looking if he weren't bald.
But like Jason Statham's got
Gandhi's
this
a
really
bulldog.
small face and giant head, and that's the only time in history that Mahatma Gandhi's been compared to Jason Statham.
He looks exactly like him. Come on.
Your mind goes in strange places at times.
It's the
Noodles.
first bald person I thought about. It was him or Yoda. Do you know what I mean? I was one or the other. But that-
Yoda's got a little bit of hair. He's got a wisp.
Not the other famous bald man in Star Wars, Samuel Jackson.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Go there.
Handsome. But that's not my unpopular opinion. I was kidding. My unpopular opinion is mainstream lager is beer for people that have no taste buds. So,
Is that unpopular?
it really
I think that's pretty well accepted.
Listen to the facts first. 7 out of 10 most popular alcoholic drinks in the UK are either Foster's, Carling, Carlsberg, Coors Light, or Stella Artois. This is
They could all get in the
fucking
bin.
worrying to me. These drinks are basically
cheap.
fizzy water, and in most places, breweries allow, I've done the facts as well, allow for up to 60% dilution with water on all lagers on draft, with IPAs, stouts, and other beers and bitters to allow no more than 20% dilution on a barrel, which is worrying again. The number one mainstream lager in the UK is Carling by a massive margin. A flavour so muted and watery, it's barely a fucking lager. It literally tastes like cold, wet barley. It's brewed by Coors, and in a blind taste test done by Brewers Magazine, every single blind tester could not differentiate the difference between Coors Light and Carling. And I am an expert on beer.
I could.
I drink every single day, and I've got a problem. So I know when it comes to alcohol that I think lager's crap. If you want to drink something light and refreshing, drink Pilsner. It's basically lager plus. Or drink a non-mainstream lager from an up-and-coming brewery that care about the craft and want to give you that refreshing light quality that lager is known for. Vote with your wallets, people. Stop drinking mainstream shite and opt for something with more clout. And here's my top 3 recommended lagers. You've got Hedgehog Jan, Carlsberg Kellerbeer, Carlsberg with a K, and Thornbury Pickup number 26. Now, I don't know what you guys think, but I hate seeing when people walk into a bar and they look around the bar and they go, Coors Light, please. The fuck is that about? Have you got any taste buds?
A quick, nice, refreshing drink.
Drink water then.
No problem with a Coors Light.
Yeah, because you've got no taste buds.
No, I still drink. I don't. When I go into a bar, I'll drink mostly
Do you remember? Do you remember? It was in the kind of the mid 2000s where Coors did the ice taps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where it was like if it takes 20 seconds to pour a pint, this one took 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I saw
it was like a
the
thing
tap
where you
was
put the
actually
glass
dripping,
in,
freezing, wasn't it?
Yeah, you put the glass in, it sprayed it down with ice cold water, then filled it with crushed ice, and then your beer. And I remember one of my mates going to get one of these and coming back, and he's like, "Oh, very refreshing." And we looked at his beer about 30 seconds later, and all the ice had melted in it, and it was lightly brown water.
He was putting ice.
It was a thing. It was massive. It was big in summer.
It was a thing.
Ice
it was a beer garden
in cider,
staple.
but not in a lager.
The worrying thing is that breweries
They do it in
allow
the
up to
Philippines, believe it or not.
60% dilution. That is more water than beer, than lager. You know what I mean? There's some great pilsners you can go out there and get, and the crisp and the refreshing, and you still get that lager kick that you want. Do you know what I mean? Everyone knows that lager. Ooh, that freezing at the back of your throat, that lovely kick. Why are people drinking Carlsberg, Foster's, and all
I
that
totally
shit,
agree with you on that.
Carling?
Did you say
I
it was
just think-
Carling that was the most popular?
Yes, number
I'm
one.
really surprised at that. But then I guess, do you think it's maybe because
It's the UK, obviously.
Do you think it's because they sponsor Reading and Leeds and stuff? It's just like
I
the
just
only
think
thing that's
people have got
available.
no taste.
No, yeah, I went up to Cheltenham and you literally had a choice between Guinness and Carling. That was it.
Yeah, that's bollocks.
So if you don't like Guinness, you're kind of left with just
But
Carling.
it's
There was
same
no other
like
option.
Guinness is a mainstream in England because it's not the right Guinness, is it? It's not the proper Guinness that you know and that people know and love. The Irish stuff is the real stuff. It tastes completely different.
Yeah, it tastes the same.
I'm sick of people just accepting. Oh, I'm just you. I've got a pal. He is obsessed with Stella. He just gets Stella all the time.
I
Like,
hate Stella. It's so
dude,
chemically.
just drink something else.
Stella.
It doesn't taste nice. And when
What's
when
your
you're a
thought?
kid, when you're a kid and you first try your Uncle Nobed's drink, my first drink from my Uncle Nobed was a Carling. I was like, I'm never drinking. That's disgusting. And to this day, I still do not like Carling. I think it's horrendous.
What's your thoughts on a Moretti?
I like a Moretti. It's a little bit different.
Yeah,
It is mainstream,
Because
but it's a little bit different.
It's a mainstream
That's-
lager, though.
yeah, that's what I drink in the pub.
It's
Peroni?
Peroni.
Moretti?
Yeah.
You left lager
just-
a long time ago because of generally that. And nowadays,
It's just shite, innit?
there are
It's
better
water.
choices. But as soon as I discovered ale from a friend, I was
And I
just
know
like,
everyone
this is
knows
it.
me. I'm a dark beer type of guy, but it's
Cider.
not even just that. It's just it's same with cider. Like, why are you getting a strongbow?
Yeah.
Why? Why are
Don't
you
do
doing
it.
this to yourself?
Don't do it.
Oh, when I was younger, why are you getting a woodpecker? You're going to need 12 pints of that to even get pissed. No alcohol in it, barely any alcohol in it. I know it's not all about getting
I'll
pissed
never
and
baby
stuff, but
share.
it's just, you might think, oh, it's not an unpopular opinion. Everyone knows this. Well, why aren't they doing something about it?
Because most of the people who would respond to a survey like that drink at Wetherspoons, and that's what Wetherspoons sell for cheap.
Yeah, but Wetherspoons also has examples of local breweries doing special beers and brews and stuff.
Yes, but Wetherspoons is also the the mouthpiece of Tim Martin.
Yeah, and the voice
He
of the
puts his
nation.
propaganda.
Yeah.
It's price. It's purely the reason is a price because if you go into a pub
Yeah.
and there is a Coors, Carling, Carlsberg there, and someone says that's £3.50 a pint, and then you go to the next one along, and this is a local brewery with like better flavour and blah blah blah, and someone says that's £6.50 a pint.
Where are you fucking going? Whew. I know what you mean.
general prices,
It is dearer.
like-
It is dearer.
Yeah, I can't get like decent price, like a pint for less than a £5 in a city.
But in my local, obviously, it's a Sam Smith's pub. Now, we all know Sam Smith does terrible beer. Like, you got your Taddy's Ale, you got your
Bond songs.
Ayunga, yeah. You've got your all that Sam Smith shite. And then, but they do have guest ales and stuff like that. And yeah, it might be 20p more, but I'm always opting to that because I want to get something out of it. I don't know if it's because I'm a pisshead.
I don't know if this is necessarily an unpopular opinion on your end, Doodles, because there are a lot of people that don't like the cheap lagers. Like, I don't particularly care for Fosters and Carling.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say Fostings and Carla there.
Like Carla.
Leave Carla out of this.
Yeah. But, you know, if I, on the rare occasion I do go out in town, if I can't get Moretti, I will drink them because it is just cheaper. And I'm out there for a drink. If I'm drinking in the house, I'll buy good shit. I'll buy expensive whiskey. I'll buy expensive ciders and like nicer beers and stuff like that, you know?
It's obviously the stats I'm talking about out because it is popular, but it's like people don't tend to vote with their wallets enough, for my opinion.
But there is also the thing about it's just general taste. If you are used to drinking lager over and over again, someone says, "Oh, try this ale, try this, try it," and it's a lot stronger. It is hard to get into that.
Mhm.
You have to train yourself to get into that. Unless you find something like, "Oh, that's really nice,"
It hits perfect.
because they tend to be a lot stronger
Yeah.
than a lager or something. It's you. If someone gave you that or said, "Oh, go buy one of them in the pub," and you drank it, that's fucking
well, there you
can't get
go.
on with that.
Unpopular
I couldn't
opinion. I've
spend-
mastered it. I've done it.
years and years, and it's taken me till my mid-30s to finally just drink like different ales and darker beers and stuff
I was
because
the same.
I just couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it. Was it just not appealing to you?
No, it's like the first time I tried a Guinness, I was like, that is fucking disgusting.
But it's different
Like,
now.
nothing to do with it's in England,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of bullshit. It was just I could not drink it. I couldn't drink a black sheep or anything like that.
Wow.
But now I was like,
Yeah, I was the
just
same.
over the time, I've like, right, just try it. See what you're like. Oh, this is much nicer. Your taste buds tends to change, but people aren't willing to experiment. Like gin, I used to fucking hate gin in my 20s.
Gin's incredible.
Now my house is fucking full of it.
Yeah, I love gin. I love gin.
You've also got the
maybe it's-
supermarket deals as well with crates
Yeah,
of
because
beer.
you can get
Always
24
Carling,
crates of Fosters
Do you know what's funny? Look at that.
Oh,
he's on a Coors Light
I've got
glass.
a Coors Light glass. That's not because I've bought a Coors Light.
well, my glass says best dad in the world. I don't know who I nicked that off.
Old speckled hen.
Certainly not me. Old Speckled End, that's another one.
Speckled
That's
Hen.
another
No.
one. It's too
He was drinking Old Speckled End at the pod, mate. I was like, wait, mate.
bad boy.
See, it's weird you should mention
Yeah.
Guinness because I was the exact opposite. I thought I'm going to hate it. I'm going to hate it. I'm going to hate it. And the first time I tried it, I really liked it. I thought I imagined.
'Cause it's got so much more to its flavour.
Yeah,
hasn't
I
it?
imagined it to taste like basically really undiluted coffee. But it's really good.
No,
it's really
it don't
nice. It
taste
tastes
like
like
that,
Marmite
yeah.
and Twiglets and
It's got loads of stuff.
Lovely.
You can taste the wood in the barrels, and you can taste. I don't know what. I know it's artificial, the English stuff especially, but it's like. Do you know when people? I fucking love a cold pint of Foster's in a beer garden. I'd rather die, genuinely.
I'm not ashamed that I will gladly sit out in my garden as well in times, and I've just had Coors Light because it's just easy. I'm not looking to get.
It's got
pissed.
less
I'm not looking for
calories than a lot of them.
Not looking for anything strong. I was just looking for
Coors
a
Light is still
refreshing drink,
5%.
but it's got a little bit. You know, it's not got the kick of a nice ale or a beer, but like it's got something more than water or juice or fizzy drinks.
Well, I can
As long
promise
as
you
you're
now.
not drinking Bud Light.
I can promise you now, and two of
No,
you
Bud
have
Light's
gone
terrible.
drinking with me. You have never seen a meat like my mouth, and you never will, because I think it's horrendous. And my unpopular opinion is it should be banned and stopped because it's crap. Do your taste buds a favour. Drink something stronger, something tastier.
I like dragon soup.
baby.
oh, we haven't heard of that for a while.
I had to stop drinking it because it started giving me heartburn. But yeah, just drink something with a bit more flavour to it, guys. That's my opinion. Sorry. There you go.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, good shout. Right, we'll finish with me then. So my unpopular opinion is I think Anthony Hopkins was a shite Hannibal Lecter. So bit of a more serious one, this one. So in '92, Anthony Hopkins won both an Oscar and a BAFTA for his portrayal of Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs. And I just think he was completely wrong for the role physically, and his portrayal doesn't seem like it was just not true to the source material. It's almost like they kind of made him out to be the hero of the film when he's a psychopath. Please do not do that ever. And I just don't understand the hype in his performance. Like, he made a funny noise with his mouth and he didn't blink. I can do that. In fact, I do that most days, actually. And he just went
Do it
sort
during sex.
No, don't make that
don't
noise
blink.
during sex.
Do you know? Did you read Red Dragon before you watched any of the Lecter films or anything like that?
I tell you how I did it. I did the Anthony Hopkins films. Then I did Red Dragon. Then I watched Hannibal, the TV series, and then I read the books. And then I did.
What about Mindhunter, the original film?
I didn't
with
do
Brian Cox?
Mindhunter.
That's the
No, I
one I
didn't do
first
mine.
saw.
That's the one I first saw as well. But I read Thomas.
It's not Manhunter, not Mindhunter.
Yeah, Manhunter. Sorry, Manhunter.
Manhunter.
Mindhunter's something very
Many
different.
people say that's the best. Lecter.
Brian Cox's Lecter's good, but he's not in it for much, is he? He's not in it a lot.
Well, neither's
I've not
Anthony
seen it.
Hopkins.
True,
in
No,
some
true.
films.
exactly. Yeah.
True.
They actually, I think they had to put more Anthony Hopkins in, didn't they? Because he tested so well with audiences. They actually added
Yeah.
more Lecter.
They did a lot
Which
of
they-
horrible things to the character, though, like the forced Thomas Harris to write a book, Hannibal Rising, so they could create the film Hannibal Rising. And he was like, "I'm doing it in a month," and that's why Hannibal Rising's a terrible film and book.
I didn't
It's
mind the
just
book.
shite.
I thought
Did
it was
you?
quite
Oh,
interesting.
it's fucking shite.
And I know I've gone off about
awful.
like we shouldn't be giving characters sympathetic backstories, but I quite enjoyed it. I thought
so
it was very
bad.
it was quite a disjointed book, wasn't it? Like it jumped
Yeah.
around scene to
He
scene.
shags
quite,
his auntie a lot in it.
well, he's not as it's not like blood related to him.
I know, still. Yeah.
Fit.
Yeah.
They're both
I remember
fit.
the film, the ending to the film is fucking terrible.
Ending to Sounds of the Lambs is different to
Hannibal.
the book, isn't it? A little
I
bit.
don't remember.
Can't remember.
Yeah,
read
where,
the book, but I don't
where
remember.
it's how he escapes is completely different to in the book. In the book, it
Oh.
was more espionage, not biting everyone's faces off.
And just wearing other people's faces, yeah.
Yeah, not quite that, but yeah.
I love his portrayal in Silence of the Lambs. I think it's just that he gives that impression that he's not a nice person at all.
He's a
behind
cannibal.
but the way that he comes across so calm and he's he just makes it feel really uncomfortable when he talks, and the way that you can see him looking at Clarice in a way that you shouldn't look at people.
Smelling
The way that he studies her. And
See, this is-
and that violence that then appears in the movie, again, I can't remember what it's like in the book, but
It's not that violent.
it suddenly shows you what he is capable of. And I still think the performance is really good. So
I think possibly having read the books, it changes things, because he was a really highly admired psychiatrist, and he
Best in the
he's
business.
he's working with the FBI to help solve crimes and stuff. So if he's described as in the book as a they sort of say he's basically a pure sociopath, but actually what they say, there's not really a name for what he actually is. So, but say maybe
plus tall and slender.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll get to that bit in a minute. But yeah, so say just for using the logic that the closest thing he is to a sociopath. Sociopaths aren't just staring and unblinking. They are very charming, very charismatic. They are friendly to people when it suits them. Yeah. Not to mention that he's a psychiatrist, so he would know a way to behave that would not give him away as a sociopath. So he wouldn't be standing there staring. He probably wouldn't be commenting on the way people smell. He certainly would. He certainly did notice it, because point of his character is that he does have a very finely tuned sense of smell, and to the point where he can sort of diagnose people's medical conditions without them even knowing. Like he can smell, sort of sense what they're suffering with.
Well, he was in the books. He was the North America's premier sommelier. He was a wine smeller, wasn't he, and taster. Yes. That's where he got his sense of smell. So yeah, weird how they portrayed it in the film.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, no, that side of him was not portrayed in the film, and I think that was almost a bit of a disservice, because it doesn't portray his character. And this is not necessarily Anthony Hopkins' fault. It's probably. In Silence of the Lambs, he is just in the jail cell, and you don't really get to explore the kind of person he is behind that. But he could have portrayed it not just pure. He goes from completely no emotion to evil, and there's a lot more. There's a lot more layers to him than that. But as you were saying,
like the TV series.
Yes, I very much like.
I did too. I thought that was really good,
and that is much more of a deep dive into what Hannibal Lecter is actually like as a person.
It is weird that Jonathan Demme, the director, decided to start with the second book in his little thing as well.
Because the first film didn't go down particularly well, did it?
No,
Red Dragon was
Manhunter's the original, wasn't it? On film. But Red Dragon is Manhunter. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. But
and then it was Silence of the Lambs. Then was it Hannibal and then Red Dragon?
Yes, I believe so. Yes, because they had to change because it couldn't be Jodie Foster anymore.
That's right.
Old. She was too old.
I don't think she wanted to do it either.
It got Ray Liotta in it as well. If you remember?
Yeah, he ate his own brain.
Yeah. Yeah, because Red Dragon's the one with the guy from Fight Club and Hulk. What's his name? Ed Norton.
Yeah, he was playing Will Graham, and Ralph Fiennes was Red Dragon, or the
Francis Dolarhyde. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
he was really. I've read these books so many times. I fucking love them.
I didn't like Red Dragon so much. Like I don't like the films. I don't like the Red Dragon section of Hannibal, the TV show, and I didn't like the Red Dragon book that much. I don't know why. It just didn't.
You are wrong.
And that's my unpopular opinion. But yeah, no, going back to him physically as well, he's this Lithuanian count that comes from like a long line of European nobility. So you would think he would at least have a bit of a slight sort of European accent. And his physical,
he doesn't.
No, I don't know what that accent was, but it wasn't what it should be.
He did his accent based on the New England accent, didn't he? And that's why they based Stewie Griffin's voice off him as well.
I think so. He did a lot of what
Stewie Griffin's voice is based off Rex Harrison.
Is that what it is? I thought it was. I thought it was more like Hannibal Lecter and the original.
No, it's Rex Harrison.
It is, isn't it? It proper is when you say it. Fuck.
It sounds more like Lois Griffin. He did the thing where a lot of British actors kind of use a British accent, but just make it a bit more nasally.
Yeah, he is better as Lecter in Hannibal. It's not a better film, but he's better as Lecter in Hannibal.
I really enjoyed Hannibal, the film. I still don't think, because they were given the opportunity to expand his character a bit, and they still kind of made him out to be the hero.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I know he was kind of obsessed with Clarice, but he still, he just did some awful things.
More obsessed with Will.
Yeah, absolutely. That was more of a kind of love affair.
Yeah, he wanted to fuck him.
Yeah, but I mean, because they both sort of stimulated him.
Yes.
Stimulated his intelligence. But yeah, physically, in Silence of the Lambs in the book, he's meant to be 47. Anthony Hopkins was 53.
Yep.
And while filming, probably arguably looks a little bit older than that. And he's meant to be small, sleek, and with a wiry strength in his arms, and with dark, slicked back hair and a widow's peak, and sort of reddish eyes. And his left hand has an extra finger.
Yes.
Which they haven't addressed in any of the media, I don't think. So essentially, he's described as
which
being
he plays
really
the piano with really well. Apparently, he uses his extra finger to play the piano. Ugh.
And other things.
Oh, God!
But yeah, he's basically described as being really attractive, both physically and characteristically. Yes. And I just think a huge part of his personality was missing. And like I said, it's not necessarily down to his performance entirely, but also the direction and writing. And I think for a more rounded version of the character should be shown. And even though I'm focusing on Silence of the Lambs, like I said, they did have a second chance and a third chance to address it in Hannibal and Red Dragon, and they didn't. And there's been a number of actors that played Hannibal Lecter, but for a much more true to source material version of the character.
Mads baby,
Mads
Mads Mikkelsen. Woohoo! Yes, he is really good as Lecter. Keeps his accent. Chef, sommelier, pianist.
I haven't seen the third season.
It's not
the
good.
One that they ended it on.
It's a bit of a funny one. The third one. It starts.
It's Hannibal, isn't it? It's the plot of Hannibal when he's in Venice.
It's the plot of Red Dragon and Hannibal. Weirdly,
yeah, it's weird.
I did like Hannibal the book. That was really good. I enjoyed that.
It is a good book.
Yeah, they kind of set it out in a funny way, and they didn't really do any of the Silence of the Lambs stuff either. Although I think potentially they were thinking there might be another season.
That could have been the last season, couldn't it? Yeah.
I think, yeah. I mean, they sort of did a character that was like Clarice Starling.
They did, yeah.
What's her name? Lass? Agent Lass?
Agent Lass. I can't remember the name. That's a made-up one for the show, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was kind of a hybrid character. It's kind of meant to be Clarice, but I think maybe they just didn't know how many...
I really liked the show. It's really good.
Yeah, I really liked it. I think the third season, to quote Family Guy, it insists upon itself a little bit. And it's a different setting as well, because it's not in...
it's in Venice, isn't it? Or Rome,
yeah,
or is it?
Yeah, it's Venice.
Turin, maybe?
Florence.
One of those?
One of them.
Italy!
some weird European
I think you're right. Florence is right.
Yeah.
I think
he's the creator of the museum, isn't he?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, it's a bit of a different tone, different setting, and it's,
He's so gorgeous in it, though.
Always lovely.
Oh, I drink his bathwater.
So yeah, that's it. So I think we can probably go on to our bulging sack now.
Yeah, let's bulge.
Excellent. Well, there are quite a few in here. The audience they jumped on this one, so we'll start off with we'll start off with Terrestrial Extra. I've been wanting to get this out for some time, so it may be a little dated. Are you ready for this one, everybody? The Arctic monkeys are crap.
Oh yeah, I agree.
What a fucking... That's come out of nowhere.
Yeah. To elaborate, I believe their first album, abbreviated WPSIA Twin.
Whatever you say.
What people say I am, that's what I'm not, or something. Like yeah. Is a coming of age masterpiece. I've always thought it as the Catcher in the Rye of albums. Jesus.
What a fucking analysis.
Although, I like the album much more than the book. The second album has some bangers, namely Fluorescent Adolescent and Brianstorm. The rest of the album is meh. 15 years and 4 albums later, nothing of note. All monotonous Mardy, see what I did there? Tracks that will never hit the heights of those early days, but they're still selling out stadiums, or they were pre-pandemic, and revered in the pop world. Great wants crap now. Retraction. Just listen to Favourite Worst Nightmare. Other tracks are okay, not meh. Rest, crap.
Aren't they like a jazz band now or something along those lines?
I know. They're still doing the same thing. They're just kind of... They're doing that Led Zeppelin thing where they just get a bit weirder with it.
He's doing less of the, all right, I'm from Yorkshire, isn't he? He's doing more...
Yeah, he says summit less.
Yeah, he's saying summit less. He's more like, I've been around the world now and he's got like that Elvis hairdo, hasn't he? And oh, come on.
I know the name of the band.
The last album was very 60s
inspired. I would know.
I bet you look good on the dance floor.
You look good on the dance floor?
Yeah, and,
okay.
When the sun goes down, what's that one called?
Yeah, they said he changes when the sun goes down. That one, yeah.
What a scummy man.
Do you know what? I don't like regional accents in music. I think that's my issue with it. I know there's no...
Yeah, but you love the Wurzels.
Yeah, well, that's different. The Wurzels are a national treasure.
Hearing that Geordie accent in Maximo Park, like,
I love I think Maximo Park are way better than Arctic Monkeys.
Oh yeah,
way better.
Isn't he a Borough accent, not a Geordie accent?
Yeah, it's
Maximo Park. They're from Newcastle.
I thought they were from Middlesbrough.
I thought it was Middlesbrough.
I don't know. You all sound the same to me.
Yeah,
South
northern
Shields.
to me, above Birmingham.
Redcar.
No, got formed in 2000, Newcastle upon Tyne.
Yeah, fair enough. I always thought they were from Middlesbrough.
A weird man.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I even recognise his own accent.
Because he's got a posh
I
one.
remember what the fuck you're talking about. Like I talk about a fucking
He's
Geordie.
got a posh accent,
Anyway.
that's why.
I've got a Hexam accent. Anyway, Xenos Infinity said, there's a few, but the biggest one I can't stand is cringe comedy. It makes me so uncomfortable I literally can't watch it. Nothing about it comes across as funny. It's just humiliation, and I've been laughed at too many times to laugh back when it's presented like that. Oh, bless you.
What do you think he means by cringe comedy? What? Elaborate.
I like The Office.
The Office.
Yeah.
Well, he's wrong.
No, I love cringe comedy. If it's done right. It's brilliant.
I'm indifferent on it. Some things I can watch, some things I can't.
Mate, we've been doing cringe podcasting for nearly 3 years, so.
Not intentionally, though.
Settled on nearly 2 years.
Is it? Nearly 2 years? I don't even know what time is.
If you want to see the
Flat Circle.
the most cringiest comedy film ever, for me, it's Dinner with Schmucks.
Yeah, Steve Carell. Yeah.
Steve Carell one. I know it's a remake of
It's
an-
original,
something,
yeah,
but I've never seen the original, but it just makes you cringe. Everything Steve Carell does in that film, you just like.
It's like 40-Year-Old Virgin as well, isn't it? That's cringy.
Well, Steve Carell's very good at cringe comedy.
He's
Is
very
it
good
good,
at
though?
serious comedy
Is
as well.
that movie
though.
good?
Dinner for
I like
Schmucks,
it.
yeah, it's
I
great.
like it, yeah. I think
I haven't
it's funny.
seen Dinner with Schmucks. I have to.
It's got a weird guy that's got an owl, hasn't it? It's just got an owl.
It's got Paul Rudd in it as well.
Yeah, he's the main one, isn't he?
Dan at Tree Smurfer said, hate would be a strong word, but I'm so bored of all the love for Game Pass. It feels like anything that isn't free on day one now just doesn't get the credit it deserves because heaven forbid people should pay for it. Yes, it's incredible value, I'll admit, but at the same time it feels like it devalues the opinion on anything that isn't part of it and puts people off buying something because they'll wait for it on Game Pass. It also feels like another nail in the coffin for preservation.
I
don't disagree with them.
When I was
Don't care that
researching,
much,
do you know how I did a script at the beginning of the show and Unpopular Opinions to put into your guys and the one I talked about Gadget? Game Pass is bad. It's a very, very fucking unpopular opinion. It keeps popping up all the time. Like,
Oh, that's Sony. That's just Sony.
it's just like, I don't even have an Xbox and I'm sat here going, Game Pass is fucking good. That's just good.
My only
He's not wrong though.
no, my
Everyone literally like people go, oh, it'll be on
wait,
Game Pass.
yeah. Is
soon
it
enough.
ruining
Yeah.
the medium in a way? I don't think
not
it is.
necessarily ruining the medium. I think it's more of a case of like, as a consumer thing, it gives you that option because there are loads of games that I want to try, but I don't really necessarily want to commit to spending 50 quid on when they come out. But if it's on Game Pass, I'll try. There's been a few games I've played on Game Pass and then bought because I enjoyed it, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't have played The Artful Escape if not for Game Pass.
Yeah. Loads of little indie games.
Yeah, I think it's
for
a good
me,
platform for indies.
the thing that doesn't work for me for that is the fact that I obviously take way too long to play certain games, and I think for something like Game Pass,
FF7.
I don't have the time to keep up with all the games they're dropping. It's just because I think if you can get through games and mainline them, that service is perfect for you because you can
The second
enjoy what
you let
comes
go
out.
of the notion of having a backlog is the second you have free, my son.
You don't have a backlog because you play
Don't
everything.
have a backlog. Start have a backlog.
That's not the same.
Yes.
You don't have a backlog because you literally play through everything in a week when it comes out. It's not the same. That's why you don't have a
I don't
backlog.
play
The
everything.
thing is with Game Pass, if you play through 2 games a year, you've then
Made your money back.
got the value out of it. Yeah, you've made your money back.
Absolutely.
Like I haven't turned my Xbox on since February, but I know there'll be stuff I'll play later in the year that'll make up for what I'm paying for Game Pass and not using right now.
I had Xbox Series S for most of last year. I beat 4 games on there, and I was like, I've got my money's worth. Got my money's worth. I didn't even pay for a full year. So I get what he's saying, but I can't agree with it.
In comparison to Sony, to buy, if you haven't got an Xbox, you go and buy one, and then you get Game Pass. I mean, what else do you need?
And get
You just
codes.
don't
and get
need
people
anything
to send
else,
you
do you?
games in the post. Do that. You could do that.
Moving on, that fucking show guy, everything.
Fair enough.
Everything's bad. Everything's
Is that his
good.
unpopular
He loves
opinion?
everything,
No,
he hates
everything.
everything.
Just everything. That's his unpopular opinion.
Maybe it means he loves everything.
Known food pervert Nimrod Hicks has come in with
God, here we go.
Dear
Here we go.
Master Enunciator.
Strap in.
Unpopular opinions is say, well, pull up a chair and strap in. This is my week.
God.
Let's start off with the stuff you're all aware of. Gravy is awful. Mashed potatoes are the devil's work. Yogurt can jog on. Walker's Ready Salted are by far the best crisp. And all milk chocolate is total wank.
Oh my
I can't even begin to absorb that information. Like I've said before, my
Do you need
father
it repeated?
slaved in the gravy mines for 25 years to get the Britain gravy.
Nah, I
It's
hate
not
it.
fair.
Everything about that sentence is just
I agree. No, I agree. I hate
Wrong.
roast dinners. I hate gravy. I hate potatoes. I hate potato-based anything, really. I'm not asked.
fuck off.
Did he say
you don't
he didn't
like
like
fun
milk
candy?
chocolate?
We had a whole episode on crisps.
I'm not that.
Did
I
he
mean,
say
I
he
can
didn't like...
crisps are barely potatoes.
Why don't you marry Nimrod Hicks?
Maybe I will.
Because he's already married.
Well,
Thruples are a
have you
thing.
both. You can have you
days.
both. Ugh. Monogamy. That's
Anyway,
an unpopular opinion.
Those are so good.
It gets worse, Oodles. Next, Diego Maradona was not one of the world's greatest footballers.
He was.
Maradona was actually one of the most talented and skilled footballers who wasted his ability by being a cheating wanker.
No.
The hand of God was one thing, which I still haven't got over, but taking ephedrine in the World Cup is unforgivable. There's nothing worse than a supremely talented individual taking shortcuts. If you're middling and need a boost, that's not right, but you can see why one might do so. But to be the best and still cheat is a complete betrayal of your abilities.
I took more than ephedrine
point.
in the last World Cup. I can promise you that much.
Oodles, I need you to brace yourself for this last one.
Calm.
You're going to have to brace yourself. This might finish you off.
God.
This brings me nicely on to Prince. And he's off, everybody.
He's walked
Just
off.
walked off.
No. 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 Sorry, listeners.
So he says, this brings me nicely onto Prince. Widely regarded as one of the most talented musicians of his era, mastering several instruments, but was so far up his own pretentious arse he only ever produced a mediocre oeuvre with a few half-decent tracks, total waste of something potentially beautiful. And finally, I know this will ruffle feathers, and I know Deadbeat Punk is going to be hopping on a plane straight to Norfolk for this one.
There's no airports in Norfolk 'cause it's fucking marshland.
Blues Brothers 2000 is not a bad movie.
Fuck off.
Oh,
Fuck off.
Nimrod. No. 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 No.
How can we try-
It is
I say
a
that-
fucking abomination.
I say this as a Blues Brothers devotee who knows the original word for word and would regard it as my desert island movie. 2000 gets far too much flack and is, in my opinion, a fun homage to the original. Knows what it is and is almost a shot-for-shot remake. Also, the ensemble Louisiana Gator Boys version of B.B. King's How Blue Can You Get is a personal favourite. I welcome all positive feedback. Love to all.
Right. The music might be fine. The songs in isolation, perfectly fine. I don't remember a scene in the original Blues Brothers where some zombie queen
Same.
turns them into dancing puppets. What's that homaging from the original? I'd like to know because I don't remember that.
It's safe to say that we cannot trust the opinions of a 6-toed, fucking 12-toed, whatever, how many toes he's got, man from Norfolk.
Let's go throw potatoes at him while we
Go
listen
kiss
to
your
Prince.
cousin and stop bothering us.
I do have a confession here. I agree with him
Oh
about
no.
Prince because I
Fuck off,
actually
Big E.
listen. When Prince passed away, which I thought was a really sad thing, I then went through to listen to his music because I'm not really a big fan of Prince in the sense of
No,
knowing
not,
all of his
to be honest.
music, and must admit, I still only like his hits. I didn't find any of his other music at all that good. Personally, for me, just it wasn't for me.
Personally, it's fucking shite, mate. You're wrong. I'm not even acknowledging it. It's bollocks.
Anyway, moving on to Angry Kurt, best boy. Oh dear, Oodles.
I've seen this.
For fuck's sake,
My
what
submission
now?
this week is going to upset Oodles, I'm afraid.
Yes, Kurt. Seen
Yeah.
this.
And it's that grinding in games is one of the worst mechanics in games.
Yes,
off.
yes.
First off, it's just used as a filler for a game, but not a particularly good one. It's like a sandwich where the filling is mostly basic pre-packed ham available with no butter or anything. I don't know why that tickled me so much. Why is the game making me do this? Why not just make the bosses I'm grinding towards a lower level more suitable to where I am at that part of the game?
Games.
You can also argue grinding is responsible for microtransactions, as people pay with some games to not have to grind.
Shit games.
As demonstrated recently with Gran Turismo 7. If people would rather pay than use the game mechanic, then there's a problem. I have to admit there have been games like Pokémon and Yakuza Like a Dragon which have grinding which I have enjoyed. But particularly in the case of Like a Dragon, I feel the game would have been infinitely better had it not required grinding.
I didn't grind in that game.
Grinding is fucking terrible. I
I
agree.
don't know. I'm on the fence with this one.
To a point,
because
I
people-
agree.
Why
this
should
is bollocks.
Why should I play a game? No, right. When I'm playing Persona 4, I'm playing that game and I'm just going along with the game. I suddenly hit a boss. None of my characters can defeat that boss.
You're not
But
playing the
at that
game
point,
properly.
no, I have. I've played the game along with the narrative, and I've gone to the places. I've done this, and all of a sudden I can't defeat the first boss. So what? Go off and fucking do a
But
lot
it's
of
not just
similar-
JRPGs, mate. People grind on Modern Warfare all fucking week. It's the exact same thing. No one calls that grinding. It's the exact same thing. I'm
do.
prestige now.
They
I'm
literally
prestige.
call it grinding.
And they give it a pass. No one calls fucking playing the same track on Mario Kart grinding.
That's not grinding,
It
though.
is.
What no, it's not. No, it's not. Both of those examples are absolutely fucking terrible.
No.
Because you're not playing towards anything. The prestige just happens. Like I'm not even bothered like sticking up for Modern Warfare, but prestige just happens as you play
You're
the
grinding
game.
to get better levels.
You're not grinding to get. You don't.
Better
Like, I've
gear.
got to do this to get the prestige. I know some people have that mentality, but if I play COD online, I just get the prestige. It just happens.
It's same on
if you
Destiny
get there.
2. It's same on The Division. It's same on
Yeah,
nearly
no,
all
well, that's
JRPGs.
terrible as well.
It's same,
That's terrible as well.
Same on
I think with your
Breath of the
example
Wild.
with
There's grinding in that.
I think your example with Mario Kart is probably practicing over grinding. Like I would describe grinding as doing the same thing over and over and again to get XP to become a higher level. Whereas,
Time trials is the exact same thing.
is it though? Is it just you're just getting
it's
better
not.
at it?
No, it's not.
Grinding is just getting better at the game.
No, it's not. I think grinding
No,
is
it's
getting
not
more
at
XP.
all. No, it's not at all.
Yeah, grinding is more getting your character built up through the repetition in the game.
If the game's got a really
Because
good
you
battle
hit a brick
system or
wall.
a really good gameplay loop, you don't call it grinding. You don't mind doing it. It's same with
But it's
do you know
like-
what- same with Dark Souls.
Well, the
It's
thing
like
about
Elden
grinding-
Ring. If you're constantly fighting things to get stronger, is that not called grinding? You know what I mean?
It is.
But because you're
Precisely
enjoying
what
it,
it's
you're
called.
enjoying it. You don't feel like it is. If you're enjoying something,
That's what I'm doing wrong with Dark Souls, I think. I'm not
there you go.
grinding.
If you're enjoying something, you don't consider it grinding. Like
But I've found that with Elden Ring, there's so much to do. I'm using JRPGs as an example, but there's so much to do that I can go off and do other things that are at my level,
Yes.
which is
that's
fine.
understandable.
Whereas in JRPGs, it's like the ones I've played, it's like go off and just face the same enemy for the next few hours. The same
Yeah,
battle.
I agree
It's
with
not
over
the
that.
same
and over
battle,
again.
is it?
But like Final Fantasy 13 fell down because it was the first Final Fantasy which didn't have grinding in it, and everyone got stuck 2/3 of the way into the game before the game got to the
I
good
found
bit.
a good grinding area
Because
in
there
it.
was one boss and you couldn't go back and grind
It's a
to get
shit
better.
game.
It was a shit game.
It's a shit game.
But
I agree.
those games need the grinding for that kind of
And
battle
this is
system.
Kurt that constantly plays into the breach while grinding.
Anyway, moving
Not
on.
having it.
'Cause We've got one from Ray. I think Oodles is a bit too triggered right now.
It's the Prince shit that
So-
set me off.
Ray has said, "Hi, Modern Escapism. After the disastrous launch of Battlefield 2042 and the underwhelming Avengers game, live service became an unwelcome term connected to unfinished games. Live service has been an unwelcome term for a lot longer than those two games.
Grinding in them.
However, I personally don't want to dismiss live service. After all, the example of No Man's Sky and Battlefront 2 suggests making amendments to broken games is not as favourable as selling good products from the first place, but still far better than making customers pay for unplayable messes and writing a PR letter as an apology. Furthermore, I think there are certain games types that can benefit from a regular update service, such as balancing competitive multiplayer in FPS or MOBA games, or new items for building management games.
Yeah.
A proper live service game can maintain the replayability of a game, helping increase the value for money of buying it, and it may allow developers to use old assets which can reduce the cost. In my humble opinion, live service is just a tool. Whether or not it's evil is dependent on how it's wielded. I think that's a pretty accepted
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
There are good live service games.
Yeah, that's a solid opinion, that.
Like Destiny 1 was a great live service game until the Destiny 2 came out and started putting in microtransactions.
Yeah, Destiny 1, it got better because of the live service. Yeah. Hmm.
And most, like, you know, MOBA games or like free-to-play shooters, they're pretty accepted that, you know, they have the microtransactions because that's how the game functions.
And it's going to get better later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to really like playing Heroes of the Storm, and that, you know, that was Blizzard's MOBA game, and, you know, I put money into that because I had like hundreds of hours.
The entry level's free, isn't it?
Entry level's free. You can get up to like 20 characters for free, and then you just start unlocking or grinding for the ones that you want. But there's no obligation to buy everything. Just buy some cool shit.
Or grind.
Yeah, when I was talking
loads of characters I got without paying for them.
There you go.
When I was talking to Jay Taylor when we were playing the Division, he said something along the lines that Massive announced at like a conference or something, or wherever it was, that they were doing another update to the Division with more content, and Ubisoft didn't even know it was coming. They just decided they wanted to do it.
Why would they? They've got enough on the plate at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's just a fair point.
Just a little entry from Angry Kurt there, because he's just posted in the Discord. I just remembered I could have stuck my One Division opinion on this week's pod.
I'm not even going to fucking discuss that.
I was about to go, beep, 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 breaking news.
I'm not even going to discuss that, Kurt, because you and Pete have got a fucking hiding to come. I'm going to fucking spank you boys. You're getting spanked. Welcome me to the next round table at your peril.
Anyway, that's the end of the mailbag.
This episode's triggered the fuck out of me. I'm fucking
I think
furious.
we're all a bit
now.
on edge now, aren't we?
What I need to know is, I need to know the socials and what's happening next time, because fucking I'm livid.
Well, I will tell you, and I hope it soothes you. So,
I hope so.
You can visit our website, modernescapism.co.uk. On there, you'll find a link to all of our socials, contact details, and our merch store. If you've got any comments or feedback for us, you can fill out a form on the website, tweet us, or email us on modernescapismpod@gmail.com. We've spoken about our Discord server, so if you'd like to join our community of listeners for a chat about the podcast and other aspects of pop culture and escapism, come and have a chat.
It's full of reprobates, of idiots with bad opinions.
Apparently.
Come drop your bad opinions.
Drop your bad opinions. That's the tagline. I like it. We'll use that from now on.
Before entry.
That should be the rules of entry, shouldn't it? What's your bad opinion on something? Yeah, right, you're in.
No, because we'll just accept them all, because we just like...
So we can berate them.
We're like Xavier's school for gifted individuals. We just get all the fucking freaks in our Discord. And mutants.
That's what we like, though. Freaks and mutants, all are welcome. Twitch, you can find us on twitch.tv/modernescapism. The best place to find our schedule, or if we decide to do a surprise stream, is to keep an eye on Twitter or Discord, or just drop us a subscribe on Twitch and you'll see on your mobile when we're going live. We also have a YouTube. Everything we do is uploaded to YouTube. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, you'll be able to see our beautiful faces if you'd like to catch up. Actually, you almost didn't see mine, which is probably a blessing to some this evening because I had a bit of a technical difficulty.
Oh, don't be daft.
That was a Friday
My light
moment.
fell off.
You're the nation's sweetheart.
Did you say if you're listening to this on Spotify, you can see our beautiful faces?
No, you can. What I was leading on to say is, if you go to YouTube, you can see our beautiful faces. You know what happens when it gets to the socials, Gadget? The wine has kicked in.
You're pissed.
The wine kicked in hard
It
earlier.
hasn't jumped on you yet.
So that's youtube.com/modernescapism. And we've spoken about our Patreon. So that's patreon.com/modernescapism. And if you want to support us in a non-financial way, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you can. We read them all. Well, we read all the 5-star reviews, not the 1-star reviews. Fuck them. Next week is going to be another fun one. So we're not doing a round table next week. We're doing film pitches, and Gadget's bringing us this one. So we're coming up with a concept for a film, and we're going to pitch it to each other. And mine's going to be the best.
I didn't know it was competition.
I think Oodles is going to be the most perverted.
Oh,
Yeah, mine's a
you
porno.
can rely on that.
Making a porno.
Killzone, the movie.
The musical.
Starring. Who would star in Killzone? It's got to be Chris Pratt, hasn't it? As Hellgas number 1. And number 2. And number 3.
Do you have any stipulations for this gadget?
Just pitch a rough idea for a story. Who you would cast in it if you want to go into like doing the crew, who would direct it, who would do music, who's your director of photography, anything like that. Is be as detailed or as light touch as you want. But I'm expecting brilliance from you all.
It's going to be exceptional.
And you have to pitch it to the other 4. You have to pitch it to the other 4, and we'll have to say if your movie is going to get made or not.
Lovely. Perfect. Perfection.
Do you want a budget? What we want is a budget.
12 billion.
Yeah, like Dragon's Den. How much I need for the film?
Yeah, basically, Dragon's Den, but for films.
$100 million, please.
And I want to hear the audience. I want to hear their ideas.
I have
for
an
films.
idea. Hopefully, I can pull it together.
We've got a week.
Got something.
Stigs writing
Excellent.
furiously now.
Anyway, we are dragging this shit on. Everyone that's a patron, meet us in the green room. We've got some honourable mentions, and Gadget's been doing a bit of homework. For everyone else that's tight, unpopular opinion, but you should not be a tight bastard and enter the green room with us. But to you guys, good night.
Bye.
Back off.
Fuck me. Here we go. Right. Pray for me. 1, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4 banana, 5 banana, 6 banana, 7 banana, 8 banana, 9 banana, 10 banana.
What is that?
Counting to 10 so it resets.
Why banana?
Because it takes a second to say banana.
Mississippi is the famous one.
Elephant. One elephant.
Just
yeah.
1 and 2 and 3.
Yeah,
and
the word
4
and in between.
Banana, start cam.